Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. I am your host, Roman. This week we have an all-star panel talking about the movie Almost Famous, about a boy, a girl, a rock band named Stillwater, and the belief that rock and roll could save the world. So I want to welcome everybody here tonight. We are still waiting for it's Courtney to show up, but I think I suspect she will be here not too
Typical
long
Flyers
from now.
fan.
So let's go around and introduce the panel and then get into discussion about this fantastic film. He is my partner on this channel. He is my wingman. He once stopped me from carpet bombing Topeka because there's acid in the beer with the red cups. He is Shield Wall of Dragons. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy to be here. Yep, my first viewing of this movie. I didn't see it when it came out, so I liked it. Oh, here's Courtney.
Oh, right on.
And, but anyway, yeah, thanks for having me on. Happy to be here.
Yeah, right on. Hello, Courtney. We're doing our introductions now. Welcome to the panel. He is the scourge of Gotham, the nemesis of the Dark Knight. He is Joker Voice. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm just peachy keen, and rock and roll could save the world. More like a 15-year-old boy got introduced to sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And what do we get with the drugs and the rock and roll? We get the sex, and with all the groupies, you're sure to get scissoring.
Furious scissoring.
Yes.
Every week I hope I'll die before we get to that part, folks. But every week I don't, so it's a little disappointing for me in that regard.
As always, a pleasure to be here, Roman, to contribute to your early grade.
Thank you, Joker, for that. He will tell you if this is the way. Books, games, or movies. She is armored up and ready to fight. She is the untamed Mando. Welcome back, Mando. How are you?
I am doing all right. Last few days, my computer has been giving me all kinds of crap, but it seems to be working okay today. That's what happens when you do updates. You should never update anything on your computer.
Never do the update.
And I did. I was like, oh, it looks like a little update. Nope.
No.
But anyway, we're here. I have the scissors, and the scissor family is present. And it's going to be a great discussion because this is my first time watching this movie.
I thought it was. I actually said that to Mrs. of the Empire. I'm like, I know Mando hasn't seen this movie. One, there were no lions in it, and two, she is very young.
Yep.
I was alive when this movie came out.
Yes. He is the drunk poet whose mystical music has only killed one person we know of.
Allegedly.
He is Dempsey. Welcome back, my friend. Pleasure to have you back on the show. As soon as we started, we thought about doing this topic. I'm like, I got to get Dempsey on, and you're here, and I'm very happy that you are, sir.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is a great flick, and it hits very close to home for me. I can identify with a lot of the situations that are happening, and it's just very well told. I can't wait to get into it.
You were a 15-year-old boy who got raped by groupies.
Whoa. We don't call them groupies.
Band-aids.
They're band-aids.
Go to the top of the ramp with the rest of the girls, Joker.
But it's still technically rape.
No, I wasn't 15, but I was involved intimately in being backstage at large shows and being traveling around with the band. I never went on the road like these guys did. It wasn't anything like that, but a lot of the situations I can really identify with because I've been in a similar thing. So, and a lot of the character interactions and everything.
Feel free to share whatever anecdotes you can.
Trying to say
if you wish.
He knows his groupies is what he's trying to say.
Met a few. But I'll just say it, we've kept a couple girls on leashes before.
Oh my! Smell the blood.
I could start a trend. That would be...
Metaphorically, right?
No.
Metaphorically.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Moving on.
Moving. Musician, pop culture aficionado. Fuck my life. Aficionado. I haven't had that much to drink, folk. I just haven't had much sleep.
Are you saying he's a
man?
fish?
I struggle with that word too.
And a man of the people. He is Sammy Threepeat, whose introduction I just fucked up wildly. But welcome back to the show, my friend.
It's good to be here. Yeah. First, shout out to my buddy Tommy Mack, the drummer in one of my bands, who is, as soon as he realized that I hadn't seen this movie, just went out, bought it, and then knocked on my door and says, "You need to watch this," and then left.
I was expecting you to say he slapped you in the face with it.
Oh, the whole band was ready to, and yes, and they're speaking as someone who did travel as a musician in his early 20s. That was there's a lot of these things that reign true, and yes, I've never. It was probably the best, most wonderful representation of gang rape I have ever seen. It's a minor.
True. It's true.
No, but I absolutely love this show. I can't wait to watch the extended version.
Just taking notes.
Well,
here.
it's
Right.
definitely worth your time, Sammy. Definitely worth your time.
And I did say this in the back of the room when I said I was like, "Oh, there's an extended version." They went, "You haven't seen the extended version?" It was like, I haven't seen any version.
Shortened version.
She is the beautiful musical misfit of the airways, and it is her first time here at Of the Empire. Welcome, it's Courtney.
She's not here yet for a few
moments.
Courtney? She's here, but she's not here. She'll be here shortly.
She's here.
Hello. I'm here for a moment.
Yeah.
However, I don't have my microphone or anything. So, hi, everybody.
Hey.
I'm really psyched to be here. And this is a great movie. And I will be back.
Okay, got it.
I mean, for
Really
what
quick.
it is, you sound
Really
good,
quick.
so don't worry
You
about
do
it.
sound fine. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm in a virtual appointment. I'll be right back. Bye.
Got it.
Courtney, real quick. Oh, never mind.
That was official.
Go on. I can still hear you.
Okay, what is your view on scissors?
I don't know. I was never a band either, though. I was in the band always. So
Choose your next words.
You want
wisely.
to become part of the Scissor family? We are always welcome to more members
No,
becoming members of the Scissor
I don't
family.
like the word scissors and
No, man,
members.
no.
Be
Mando
continued.
Joker, do it slow.
I think my
More
doctor might
enticing.
send me to a shrink right now. I'll be right back.
Don't say Mando, don't say scissors and member at the same time. It just doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's
Well played.
separate
Well
things.
played, sir.
Understand?
Well played,
Yep. I'll no longer, if I remember, I will no longer use that term.
His an uncredited cameo in Easy Rider. He is Beard of
God.
Liberty. Welcome
God,
back,
that's so
my friend. How
Fucking
are you?
hot.
Who the beard?
I'm
with the
doing well.
brains.
Everybody just pause for a moment. I got to give Joker his
His
Yep,
fix.
there we go.
You got to use the comb, man.
It'll always be funny.
You know what? Tell you what, I've got the. I'm gonna do one better. I got the brush.
Is that a shoe shine?
I'll be right. Oh God, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah, as always, thank you for having me.
Yeah, it looks like you got that out of an old military shoe shine kit.
It is. It's basically the same thing. Anyway, thank you for having me. And I'm not going to apologize for the off the rails that we just did Roman's stream there. When
It's
do we?
What are rails? What
Every
rails
week,
do we
right?
have when we are on this stream?
Right. Probably more rails in this
unsurprising
movie.
to anybody who knows me. This was a first watch, and to spoil it, I absolutely loved it. It's fantastic, and I wish I'd seen it sooner. But
Well,
I'm
good.
looking
I'm
forward to
glad
getting
you enjoyed
into some of the details as we go forward.
I think this will make up for some of the stuff I'm going to throw at you later for other viewing. So enjoy the good times, Beard. Enjoy the good times. He uses the music of the past to save the future. He is that 70s rock fan. Welcome back, my friend. It is always a pleasure to have you here.
Well, it always is a pleasure. I do enjoy the pleasure, and thank you for the pleasure of being here.
There's not a lot of pleasure in going on.
Yeah.
Right now.
I would love to have said, to be able to say, look at my life and be able to say this movie was about me. Unfortunately, a much closer movie, TV show about me would have been Almost Human. But but are you and I, Roman, the only ones old enough to have seen this movie when it was actually in the cinemas? Because
No. Others are as well. It's
No.
not just us this time.
Joker carries his age well. He'll probably deny it, but yeah, he definitely doesn't look his age. I'm 40. I'm about to be 41. I didn't see it in theaters because I don't watch movies, but
Mando, you're practically a freaking embryo.
I was in 6th grade. My parents would still like monitor films before I watched it. I don't think they would have had a problem with me seeing this. Like I saw Gladiator.
Right.
I just wish my life had been. I wish I had Cameron Crowe's life.
That this movie and Gladiator came out the same year. Both spectacular films, both very different movies.
As well.
Yes.
I didn't watch this one in
Superhero
theaters.
movies are for children. I joke.
I left Ohio with $100.
This is most of my show.
I remember my dad taking me to see Gladiator, and that was the first time that scene where Joaquin Phoenix stabs him at the end before the main fight. And I looked at my dad and went, "You dick!"
I just don't think the band were as good in Gladiator, but that's
So let's go through and say hi to our beloved chat before we get rolling here. So Lady Marine Steph, welcome to the panel. The Gourd King.
I can't even get her to defend me, man.
Gladiator 8 out of 10, Almost Famous 10 out of 10. I'm inclined to agree with you. I think the writing was better, although I'm a Gladiator fan, though. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I as much as I like this movie, I'm a Gladiator fan. I just am.
There's not a wrong answer here, really.
Right.
Melvin Deeply, our good friend from across the pond. Welcome. Ducka, you're fucking here.
You know what's wrong with Gladiator that makes this movie better? That Gladiator doesn't have?
Kate Hudson.
Exactly.
Kate Hudson. America's 2001. Welcome. Good to see you. Jacob Ironside getting the side scissor in. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Tim Stock, welcome. Good to see you, my friend.
What's up, dude?
Jim the Viking. Jim the Viking is awake and with us. Welcome, Jim the Viking. Always good. I miss your face. Matt. Matt. There can never be enough discussion. No, and he's not wrong. He is not wrong on that.
The only thing that's better.
I have a point about that.
That is everybody who is there for now.
The only thing that Roman likes to better hot Olive Garden breadsticks.
And he cuts them.
Steamy Olive Garden
If looks could kill, Joker would be dead right now.
I'm going to give him some Olive Garden breadsticks.
Yeah, I don't know. Kate Hudson, unlimited salads. Which one?
Unlimited salads, and I'll tell you why. Because Kate Hudson is not attracted to me. She looks almost identical to my sister, and every time I look at her, I see my sister.
That's uncomfortable for all of us.
Yeah,
that is totally understandable.
Hey, I don't mean to tell you this, bro. Your sister's hot.
I've heard that from my friends my whole life. No, seriously. I've heard that my whole life.
Sammy's over here like, hey, can I have your sister's number?
Yeah, right. But yeah, I didn't see this in the theater because in 2000, I was on the road traveling. I went from Ohio to Vegas and back. Well, we actually went out to LA that time, but yeah, we stayed in Vegas for the most of the time. That was a lot of fun.
With a band?
Yeah.
Or
no, just randomly on a road trip across the country and doing crazy things to make money.
So this is Cameron Crowe's handwriting that we are exposed to here.
Whatever happened to Billy Crudup?
Well, he became. I mean, he became Dr. Manhattan. So he at least
Yeah,
got something.
he was
This
Dr.
poor
Manhattan.
kid, whose name I don't know how to pronounce.
I can help
Patrick
you.
Fuckett.
I've gone through
Patrick
3 or 4
Fuckett.
different versions of it, and yeah, that's the one I. Yeah.
Imagine. All I can imagine when this dude showed up, if he went to basic training. Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh,
It's
buddy.
just no, it's
I'm
just not
sorry.
good.
Yeah, Anna Paquin.
Very young Anna
Yeah.
Paquin.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
girl's name again, the girl with the big teeth, who was oddly
Veruza
hot,
Balk.
but
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it.
Balk.
I just call
You
her
can keep
Veruca
saying it,
Salt.
but I'm still not going to be able to pronounce
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Veruca Salt's
Zoe
a cool band.
Deschanel, who is almost unrecognizable. Jimmy Fallon, who is completely
Mm.
unrecognizable. I don't know. who the
Bijou.
fuck-
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah,
And
I completely
Philip
forgot Jimmy
Seymour
Fallon
Hoffman.
was in this.
Oh, and
No,
I know why
he's
Zoe
the-
Deschanel is
Hoffman is great.
unrecognizable.
He's the
No
manager.
bangs.
No,
It's
Rainn
weird.
Wilson's
Not
in it
the
too.
Right.
primary manager. That's Dick. And
Jimmy
nobody
Fallon's a dick too. No.
What up, Mom?
Dick.
Uh,
So interesting side thing about Philip Seymour Hoffman during this. He was only on set for 4 days because he had the fucking flu and was sick as fuck.
Mm.
So when you see him in this, he's sick as fuck.
thought he was just
And
like
he
over.
still kills it. He's still
yeah, he does.
Yeah,
really good.
that was
Yeah.
actually
Yeah, he
my
does.
main thought every time that he was on. I was just like, son of a bitch, why did he have
Yep.
to die? He is so good.
Mm.
Right.
So this
Yeah.
is my hometown of San Diego. This is where I am
sorry.
now, not in
Oh,
Balboa Park.
whale,
because that
you
would be
mean
weird?
you come from a whale's vagina?
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
San Diego. It means whale's
Oh.
vagina.
Yeah.
Just,
So
I'm
this
sorry,
is
but- I'm
Coronado
sorry.
Island. You're saying
Well,
Ooh.
hot chicks in the
go back 2
'70s.
scenes. Go back now.
Hot chicks in the
Wait.
'70s.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
that,
this is the 60s right
I'm,
now.
no. Go back.
Where?
Go one more. Forward.
That one.
I'm previous.
back, not forward, Roman.
Now let's stop on
What
the
do you
girls.
want from me?
I am geeking out over the classic El Camino.
El Camino.
Right there.
Yeah.
El Camino.
Oh yeah, the mullet of
Camino
cars.
Escalante.
And also a song by Ween.
I like that.
That's the Crystal Pier. For those of you who do not know, those are fucking surfers. They're dicks.
Crystal Pier sounds like one of the Band-Aids names.
That's isn't it? Yeah.
So while we're going through that opening scene, your Christmas music is playing because it's Christmas in San Diego. It's Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Right.
I love it.
Oh my God. So I'm watching this with my wife and she goes, why are they listening to Christmas music? I was like, are you aware that it doesn't snow in California?
Right.
You're right.
And it's still Christmas.
Especially San Diego.
I had to skip that bit because that song would have been stuck in my head as soon as I saw the captions come up. I said, nope, forward.
I like the movies up in the background. Don't look back, son.
Oh yeah,
Of course.
Right.
And
Yeah,
of
don't look
course,
back.
it said in
No, true for season.
19.
Stolen
Said
kisses.
in 1969.
Yeah, 69.
And then
Oh,
she goes
stolen
off on the
kisses
guy
and
with the
don't
window.
look back. That's actually, could that be intentional?
Well,
It-
it's
it-
interesting,
it
isn't it? Yeah.
That's
JJ!
Also,
What's
it
up,
was
man?
so refreshing to see a setup in the 60s and not have them started off with time of the season.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Mm.
and this whole opening scene, they're talking about To Kill a Mockingbird, and she's kind of
Right.
making him do a breakdown because he's Willie Miller is accelerated. He's a bright kid. She's a college
Mhm.
professor and a fucking weirdo, but
Mm,
she's a very lovable weirdo if you're not
Yeah.
her kid.
Mama
making
Burger.
cutlets,
Mama
you-
Burger.
Oh, she does have bangs.
Yeah, but
She bangs.
Oh,
but she just, I don't know if it's because she's so young, but she doesn't look anything like she does later.
Oh, no glasses.
So
no
my
glasses.
my I was so confused about how old she was because like her hairstyles are like from the 50s. Like every time I'm like,
Mm.
did she get her idea for hair from a 50s magazine?
Yeah, she saw a Leslie Gore album and she's like, that is how I will live my life.
Simon
She's
and
like,
Garfunkel.
Mom, I want to go back to the
Oh, look,
50s,
There's
man.
the first ever death metal album right there.
because she doesn't let them listen to music. She moved Christmas to a day in September when it wouldn't be commercialized, and she gives them this weird fucking life. And right here she's saying they're on drugs. It's in the eyes.
Yeah. Marijuana.
Yes.
Yeah, because there is a certain amount of this that kind of hits home, and it definitely wasn't this extreme, because with my parents, they were well-meaning, and things have changed over the years. They've kind of learned and changed, but I had kind of the upbringing of like, beware of this, that, and the other, and a lot of music that I just missed out on from as a kid, because that was not good stuff. This is definitely, and I want to make very clear, because I love and respect my parents, this is very over the top from what I had, but at the same time I can still kind of relate to it. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I get this.
Because she doesn't want them to be regular people. Now William is
weird seeing a conservative college professor character.
Yeah, that's a weird concept.
Yeah, you're right. That is weird. I didn't even think about that.
I don't know. Some of her ideas are.
She's a leftist. She's
an
intellectual.
Yeah, some of her ideas are why we're where we are today.
Oh yeah, because they're soy patties and
she is vegan.
Okay. Yeah,
the political bar has
she is the mother
so much.
of all of the liberal left. I
take it back. My upbringing was nothing like this.
She would be.
It's similar, but for different reasons.
She hates scissoring.
Yeah, the big difference between her and a leftist thing is that she's very anti self-indulgence.
Yes, that's right.
Anti that, meaning that's the thing on the left now, where it's extreme, feel good, do what you want all the time, that kind of stuff.
Debauchery.
Yeah, I mean, her character is definitely much more kind of like extreme conservative, like Christian upbringing, sort of that sort of thing.
It's a very it's the very skewed, like almost Christian conservative, but it's more like one of the cults, probably an offshoot of their cult.
Yeah. Like it's like taking that sort of classification of people and twisting it.
He looks like Brian Wilson there.
But
he does.
But she does raise you'll see later in the movie, she does raise a good kid, because there are parts in this movie where I would have just ran wild.
Yeah. It takes a while to get there.
Yeah, but he doesn't.
There are so many good lines in this film and scenes. There's not a wasted scene in the movie. And when Anita turns to her mother and says, "Feck you," and she's like, "Oh," and he's like, "I think she said feck." And
she's like, she used the F word. I think she said feck. What's the difference?
The letter E. That's what he's saying right there.
He says the letter U. Yeah.
This is the Empire just
watched when they had that interaction. I went, "Is he autistic?"
So Mrs. of the Empire just wanted me to bring this out.
I mean, just look at the world around us today, and then look at that picture on that album and try to convince me that they're of the devil.
Yeah, I know.
All of the people who existed making music then, that's who you choose.
Right.
Paul Simon looks like the lead singer of the Cranberries on the cover of the album.
But there was that time where people would ask, what kind of drugs were they on back then? And my response was simply all of them. So
yes, the answer is yes.
Yes.
All yes.
Right.
I am getting some major Brian Wilson vibes though.
Right.
And this is another funny scene though, because he's looking through the yearbook. He's like, "I look so much younger than everyone." And Anita's like, "He's like, pull over, Mom. It's time to tell him." He's like, "Tell me what?"
Right.
How didn't he know how fucking old he was?
He thinks he's a year older than he is, because she put him in kindergarten when he was she skipped kindergarten and put him in first grade directly,
and fifth grade.
Fifth grade.
Yeah.
And she's like, "You're 11."
Oh no.
He's like, 11?
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I remember as a kid, I didn't actually have to start writing my birth date down till I was past 12.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, if your mom is lying to you from the beginning of like when you kind of start forming solid memories,
right.
Well, it's gonna mess with you.
I might, everyone calls me Sammy. I didn't know that my real name was Salvatore until first grade.
That's a pretty cool name, dude.
JT is acting Roman
cool.
as a boy.
You know,
Yeah, I actually
you
had
know-
the classic
See,
bowl cut when
no,
I was
no.
a kid, JT. I looked like fucking Dorothy Hamill.
Yeah,
It was fucking
that's not
awesome.
Roman as a boy, because Roman as
my.
a boy
Wow.
wouldn't be learning that he was younger. He'd be learning that he was 100 years older.
Right.
That's true.
Actually,
That's
that
true.
actor was in Oppenheimer.
Really?
Him, right? Yeah, the little boy.
What's young Miller? Michael R.
What's his freaking name?
He's not the fuck it character, is he?
Who?
Young one, Michael Angarano.
yeah. I love it.
Michael Angarano.
Oh, you're talking about who's the actor
young-
that's
young
last
Miller.
name is fucking.
Yeah,
Also
that's where I
difficult
went with
to pronounce.
that.
Yeah.
I got a fucked up last name, but his
Wow.
last name is more fucked up than mine, so it makes it hard for me.
Yep. But yeah, he was Robert Serber in the Oppenheimer film. That little kid.
Hmm.
Hmm.
No,
you are
no,
correct,
no,
R2.
actually, that's still a little further down the road from when the chariots existed.
Yeah,
So,
Roman had dinosaurs to ride. What are you talking about?
Mhm.
you know, when they invented the wheel, it was a real step forward. So Anita is getting ready to leave. She's like, "Fuck it, I'm
Square
leaving."
wheel.
Mhm. This is where I was thinking definitely the 50s, the hair curlers. I was like,
Oh my God.
Yeah,
But,
she
yeah,
just leaves. What the fucking?
but it's-
I remember that though. Like
Right.
growing up in the 70s, like women
Yeah,
would just,
chicks did that shit.
they did that. They
Yeah.
put
Oh,
that
yeah.
because they had to leave it on all day or something to
Things
get it to look
don't
like that.
change. Things don't
Mhm.
change as quickly as we imagine. I mean, it takes a long time for fashions to, like,
Yeah.
not everyone was a hippie in the late '60s. It was still
Yeah.
a lot of people had that stuff from 10 years ago. I mean, it's just
Right.
the way it goes.
That's
It's
hard.
slow. Change is slow.
Right.
Like that.
Especially, well, for a teen maybe not, but for like parents,
Yeah, for
or
parents
especially
or
grandparents.
older.
I remember, I think for old people, like older people, they hit a certain point, like late mid 60s, and their fashion just stops.
yes.
And then you'll
Right.
see them wearing like stuff from like 20 years ago now. And
I'm pretty
and
sure mine
they-
stopped in my 20s, but that's
Yeah,
I said,
right.
I've literally been wearing
Yeah.
the same T-shirts since
I'm just gonna- and
It's
I'm
not
gonna
as-
say-
the early '90s, the late '80s.
it's not as bad
Right.
these days because
Right.
some of the style transcends. But when you're talking about like polyester
Yeah.
jumpsuits with bell bottoms on them,
Right.
Oh.
That did
white
not
loafers,
transcend.
yeah, that
those
did
are a
not.
fire hazard. This electricity that comes off those.
Yeah, that shit would melt you.
Yeah.
Um,
and
Well, plus a
I
lot
wanna
of kids
say-
don't like the decade they're in. You know, they're like, "Man, this
Mm.
decade's
Mhm.
lame. I want to go back." Yeah, that
Yeah,
happens a
that
lot.
would be
Colors.
now.
This is a little thing, but I
Always.
just want to point out that this is a film with a manic pixie like dream girl, in which Zoe Deschanel is not the manic pixie dream girl.
Yeah.
Mind
right.
Pretty
blown.
crazy. Pretty crazy.
I mean, that's kind of what I
She works at
expected, like,
McDonald's.
because I hadn't watched this. I was like, oh, okay, so she's going to kind of go with this. It's not going to be about her, but she'll still kind of have this mentality. It's like,
Nope.
no, she wanted to get out in the world and work and be like a normal
Yeah,
person.
she's-
It's like,
she's leaving home to
She
become a
was going to have a
stewardess.
much
That's-
bigger part, but that's just because.
Yes, she was supposed to be. Originally, she was cast. There's a whole lot of casting decisions that changed around here.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, there was.
Well, one of the interesting tidbits about this, Frances McDormand's, who is his mom, Cameron Crowe's mother was on set, and he did not want Frances McDormand to interact with her because he didn't want his mother to actually influence how the character came out. So he leaves
Right.
the set for a few minutes. He comes back, they're fucking having lunch, and it's over. It's just done.
Ma!
This is funny. One day you'll be cool. Look under the bed, and she gives him. This is funny. She drives
Nice
off,
car.
and she's like, "She'll be back. She'll be back." And Anita's like, "Woohoo!" And she's
Yeah.
like, "Not soon." But
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
And then she whispers in his ear, "Don't worry, baby."
so these records are actually Cameron Crowe's. He owns these. I actually own many of these myself, but these are Cameron Crowe's. This is some of his collection. And he starts rifling through them. Zeppelin
Good ones in
2,
there, man.
Yeah, I know Zeppelin. And,
Yeah.
Joni
Green.
Mitchell, who I'm not a fan of
Jimmy.
in any
I'm
time
not
period.
doing it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of
well, you
it.
don't like clouds in your coffee? Come on.
No.
And then-
Nazareth did do a good cover of This Flight Tonight, which is her song, but Nazareth are a good rock band, of course.
So 70s.
Yeah.
Is this if if you were to recommend like the rock or the seminal music of the 70s, is this collection somewhere you would have someone start?
Well, of course, this is just on the cusp of the 70s. It's like 1969, isn't it? So that's why you've got 69. That's why you've got Led Zepp 2, and you wouldn't have Led Zepp 3 because that wasn't until a year later. But I would say so. I mean, that you've got some of the absolute stone cold classics there. Cream, The Who, Zeppelin, The Stones. You can't go wrong with that stuff.
Branching out, where when you say rock music, it's such a wide variety because in the 70s,
yes,
split open.
I'm starting to see that variety creeping in here.
Exactly.
I actually don't like how many like subgenres that we've created, because it seems like it like pigeonholes people as you have to be in this thing. It's like I don't really care.
Yeah, genre does that. Yeah,
I like rock.
Well, that's why I just say rock, and they go, "What kind?" I was like, "Alternative."
Not to divert, but at that time, there still wasn't there wasn't a snobbery about it. I mean, the Beatles used to mingle with all sorts of acts that were like the Monkees and whatever. There was no snobbery yet about, oh well, you're only a pop band and you're this and you're that. It was still pretty, eclectic in that sense. Everyone was still felt like they were pulling in the same direction. It wasn't until later that it was like, well, you're a this and we're this, and we look down on you.
Well, I mean, take a look at like country, for instance. Like they're like,
I would rather
we've got our like subgenre of like bluegrass and like where they use electric guitar or violin and whatnot, but like country used to like sound like there were certain country artists that sounded a little bit more poppy and some that sounded a little bit more rocky.
My Missus of the Empire just sent me a text, and what it says, it's in reference to this scene she must be watching. 1973, obviously. This is William. And this isn't the extended cut. They put up on, schools had those big fucking signs with the letters on them. And in the extended cut, on the sign, they put up there, William Miller is too young to fuck or drive.
Yes. I saw that. That was
not too drunk. He's not too drunk to fuck.
Right.
Oh, is that really that's in the movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's up on a board.
That was my hero.
It's pretty clear that somebody like. It's pretty clear that somebody put it up there and it wasn't intentional, because the guy has the stick and he's bringing the letters down and removing them.
It's fucking great.
I just want to say how lucky Cameron Crowe and I feel lucky. I grew up in an era where I was exposed to a ton of music without that. Well, you can only listen to this, you can only listen to that. Even by 73, it was starting to be, well, okay, we're into prog. We don't listen to that pop stuff, kind of thing. So I was lucky. I think it was
when the guys in cardigans found it.
Yeah, I was born early enough to be exposed.
Which is one of the prevailing themes of this movie,
waiting.
actually.
Is this hand up? I'm sorry, Joker. You're
Joker.
very small right now, and I'm wearing my contacts, which means I basically can't fucking see you. What? Yes, Joker.
So there's a request in the chat from our good friend Nas that I do something. That I do something. He wants me to say something. Pizza Piper Pizza, Posh Bugs.
All right, I'll accept it.
That was
solid.
What you know about Peter Piper Pizza, Nos? The only place I ever seen that was in Tucson, Arizona.
So here we're meeting Lester Bangs, though. Lester Bangs is the editor of Cream magazine. I love this scene so much.
Bangs and Cream.
Yeah, what a great name.
That is just wow. The name. I forgot the name of the magazine because that just sounds so wrong and yet so right for the wrong reasons.
Lester Bangs and Cream.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, was that the name of a band? Roller Derby White Trash?
I'm pretty sure White Trash was. Well, it was Edgar Winter. Edgar Winter's White Trash. Yeah, that's a band. Edgar Winter.
Really?
That was Edgar Winter's band. Yeah, White Trash.
And so she.
Is that the one where they played Frankenstein?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, this is great. This is kind of where we really start getting like the tone of the story, is because he's like, he's like, I don't care about this. I just love music. I don't care about this.
Is that Bowie?
This person over here is like
Iggy
putting
Pop.
on airs and whatever, and she's just a DJ that just wants to just like get the interview over and play music. And he's more acting like some dude who's just rifling through your record collection, goes, oh, this is good shit. Put this on.
Lester Bangs is a pretentious ass.
Yeah.
But he's a smart pretentious ass, but he's an elitist.
Yes.
He's a musical elitist.
That's where it was starting to come in then. It was
He's
that
a
division,
proto hipster.
Yeah, because he doesn't
Yeah.
he likes the more obscure, interesting, edgy stuff. And he's funny as fuck, which is also good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind
the
of an
role is
insert for the
played so
writer's
well.
opinions.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he goes on his tirade here, and then the young William, he wants to emulate this guy. So this is his mentor moment, but it's really like one of the only friends this guy ever makes. Lester, he doesn't have any friends, so he desperately wants to tell somebody his opinion. You know, he started a paper for that, or a magazine, I mean, and you know, radio broadcasting for the exact same reason. He wants to tell somebody, and this kid is like one of the only people willing to listen, which I think is really cool. He's got a lot to say.
A lot.
Well, yeah, because he's found himself in a role where he's like, he finds this kid looking up to him. He goes, oh God, don't do this because it's going to ruin you. It's going to spoil the fun. It's going to spoil the love.
Right.
I love this though. He's like, I'd love to keep talking to you, but I don't have time to sit around and talk to my many fans. And then he goes to a diner with them. Which is immediately.
Well, I mean, how many times have any of us like been like, all right, I'll see you later, and you find yourself walking the same direction? It's like, my car's over here. Yeah, so is mine. Then you had that awkward moment of like, I totally got that when they were standing on the corner.
And then you start scissoring.
Yes.
and I want to thank everybody. So we're across several different streams right now because we have the Simon Cast going with Joker and Mando, and over on Twitter as well. And so there's a lot of folks watching right now. So I do want to say thank you and hello to all of you. This scene for me, I love this because he's basically trying to sell him on not doing it, knowing he's not going to listen to him. It's like, you don't want to do this, man. You're young, you're impressionable. You're gonna, they're gonna want to make friends with you, but they're gonna eat you alive, man. You need to be truthful and unmerciful.
Yep.
And William's writing all this shit down. And just
and he also makes a comment like, you probably want to go into law, and that's what his mom wants to do, and you can see that look on his face, kind of like, well, but no.
By that look, I can tell you're not gonna. And this is where he gives him an assignment. He's like, I'll give you $35 for 1,000 words on Black Sabbath. They're playing at the San Diego Sports Arena. And so that's when we go. It's all this. There's not a wasted scene in this movie. Driving up in the family truckster.
Oh man. This is the she means well. I totally get it.
Oh man.
The family whistle. And he's like,
oh my God.
So when she yells out, "Don't do drugs," that in the Spider-Man film, whenever he drops off Miles Morales and yells out, calls over the speaker, "I love you." That was a budget version of this. This is so much better.
Oh yeah,
that embarrassing.
All the eyes are on young William. Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs.
The girl says, like, he's like, "Don't worry, Mom."
I do like how you can kind of see the glimmer of realization in her eyes. Like, oh, I just did not do good.
She felt a little bit bad.
Recognizes she sucks right here, which is great.
So now we're with.
There's a lot of people who don't have that awareness.
Yeah.
So now he's at
especially when you have good intentions.
This is the band entrance for those of you who have never been in one of these horrible fucking things.
Yes.
And he's trying to get
the
Freddy.
Door that smells like piss and vomit.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Hi, I'm William Miller. I am here with Cream Magazine to interview Black Sabbath. You're not on the list. Go back up to the top of the ramp with the rest of the girls.
Because doesn't he look like Alfred Newman?
Yes, he does.
A little bit.
He does.
A little bit. Yeah, Patrick, fuck it.
Yeah.
I will.
It's few
I will
quid.
also, this is kind of like. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say that Patrick Fugit did Owen's voice in The Last of Us 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's perfect. It's a paycheck.
Nice.
But
$20,
like
$20,
throughout
right?
$20 is $20.
He's like, what? Me worry?
Yeah.
throughout this whole movie, you guys are gonna get a slight peek into Mando's life. My mom was one of these quote unquote roadies, like for certain bands, because she lived in California during this time, and like, so I am the product of one of these types of women who did not make good life choices in their life, and yeah. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs.
Drugs are bad.
See, the weird thing is, go ahead.
Band-Aids. Yes, we're at the Band-Aid scene right now, although keep capitalized AIDS, which is a little uncomfortable for all of us. Yeah, this is the. They asked. Go ahead, Joker.
Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Not because they're bad, but because they're fun.
Poor Courtney is in exile still.
The weird thing is, I actually knew one of these type of people that would follow bands around and try to like, but it was for a Christian band, which made it extra weird.
Oh no!
It was like a mission.
Oh yeah, Christian bands have those same people. Absolutely.
They just don't fuck.
I used like one of the fundraisers like my Christian college used to do was we would go to Winter Jam, and for any of you who are not Christians, you don't know what Winter Jam is, but it's kind of like the Christian big concert thing, and I was a extra or I was a hand, like, you know, backstage hand and stuff, and it's weird.
Yeah.
So
it's
like Christian Ozfests with no scissoring.
With no Oz.
Yeah.
Correct.
No, except there actually was scissoring, but people pretended there wasn't.
Yeah, no, they hold hands backstage.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, hey, let me go pray for you alone in this back room.
Yeah.
Bruiser looks like she smells in this picture.
I've been riding in the back of the car with Sabbath, so
yeah, no shit.
Does anyone remember laughter? And then pops out.
Lots of patchouli in
not him, not him.
Not Opie.
Yeah, I was just like,
Opie.
finish with my woman, and she bit me with her big ass teeth.
Gooch, welcome, buddy.
What's up, Gooch?
So timing is everything, and because he didn't get to go in to do his interview with Sabbath, he gets to meet the boys of Stillwater, who are like an hour and a half late and running down to get in. He's like, "Hey, I'd like to do an interview with you guys. I'm with Creep Magazine."
Well, it's not just that he's doing an interview. He recognizes them. He knows songs. He's he loves the music, and so like this frame right here, they're turning around like, holy shit, this
we got a fan.
Somebody actually knows us.
Right. Oh, the enemy.
Because they're just like the opener.
Yeah. I like
nobody really is there to see them.
Acts like how Jason Lee. I imagine how Jason Lee would act, where he
looks the part, doesn't he? Though Jason Lee looks the part.
Oh,
he does. But
everybody looks fantastic in this.
Yeah,
he doesn't act like JasonLee in my mind, but
no,
I mean that's probably because I know him mostly from My Name Is Earl.
Wait! But, one of my favorite parts is coming up, and this is anyone who has ever been annoyed at work. I feel bad for this bouncer because he has. Like, they're coming, and he's like, no, not this little fucker. Like
he's with us.
He's with us. So right now he's trying to sell the man on letting him do the interview though. He's like, Russell, your guitar is incendiary. Nice job, guys. Talking off there. And Jason Lee, who plays Jeff Baby, he's like, hey man, I'm incendiary too. Come on.
Right.
And that's an early indicator that I didn't pick up on because I had not seen the film and the kind of division that we're going to see later on.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I remember good writing. This is awesome.
And Sammy,
yeah,
Sammy, I'm a bartender. I am a bartender. I am irritated every day at work.
All right.
What was kind of crazy to me about this whole thing is how fast he ingratiated himself with them. Like they really genuinely liked him. Like within like 10 minutes, they're like, "Hey, he's our buddy now. Let this dude in and do whatever he wants," which was cool because kind of people were a little more trusting back then because there weren't cell phones in your face and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
I kind of got the feeling that it was like a a fan comes along and like, oh, now we have a hype man. This is like boosting our egos.
Fed into their ego, right?
Like, they've been grinding and trying to get their name out there and doing things like that. And finally somebody comes along and says, oh, you guys are fucking cool. And so they go,
and I work for a magazine and write articles.
Well, sorry.
Right.
No, I didn't. No, go ahead, Mando. I'm the one who talked.
I was just gonna say that the kid's smart. Like he's really smart. He knows an opportunity. Like he's got a good business sense. He's really smart, really knowledgeable. Like I think he just really knew what he was doing, and the band was like really needing a break, and they were hoping that this kid might be their break.
Well, they're on the cusp. They need that much more press. This interview with Jeff is fucking hilarious though, because he's talking about we make music for the fans, man. It's we do it for the
buzz. That line in particular.
Buzz. You saying you liked Fever Dog was the buzz. The chicks are great too. Some money would be nice. Just going along.
Yeah.
No, see that one part there. I could see why Jason Lee's like giving him a hard time as you follow the movie on. It's because he gave Billy Crudup a compliment and not him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I could not.
We zoomed in on the
If I was supposed to be
guitarist.
writing an article, it would never get written.
They'd be jealous of the guitarist, the rest of the band.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
especially the singer.
that.
The singer would be so jealous. Yeah.
Let's go to Morocco right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
don't bother.
this is funny because she's talking about how old are you? 18. Me too. How old are you really? 17. Me too. How old are you really? 16. She's like, me too. And she kind of like opens, and it's like it's funny when the right age sounds different. And he's like, I'm 15.
Yeah, and it kind of puts her off. Like she like she didn't expect it.
No, she didn't expect it.
How old is she supposed to be in this movie?
She's 16.
I don't know.
No, I believe she's supposed to be 16 in this film.
That it's on her birthday cake. It says unknown age.
Right.
At the end of the thing. So
everybody
they don't even know her name. So
movie should have probably gone to jail.
Absolutely. That's the other thing that it's like.
Yeah.
So back then, you could just walk in and places wouldn't ask for ID. You could just be like, I'm so-and-so. And they'd be like,
especially if you're hot and a girl.
Right. Well, right.
Yeah.
So you could like walk up to you didn't need a credit card to rent a hotel. You just needed money. Right. You didn't even really, you kind of needed ID, but maybe not. You could just kind of write in there. It isn't like it is now where everything is tracked. You could buy an airplane ticket and it wasn't just instantaneous or automatic, but it was a lot easier to do now with, especially post 9/11 or whatever, but it was a lot different back then. You could, they took you more for your word when you said you were somebody. And if you had the money, then it was all good.
But if you look at some of the real groupies that were hanging out at the Rainbow in the early 70s with Jimmy Page and those guys, they were 14. They were kids. Yeah. And it seemed to nobody seemed to care.
Wasn't Jimmy Page like dating a 13-year-old girl?
Yeah, she was pretty young. Yeah. She was pretty young. Yeah.
So I do want to call out that these live music scenes, and I can't speak for any guitars or bass because I don't play guitar or bass, but at the very least, and you don't even get this in some music videos where they actually take the time to sync up the drumming with what's actually being played.
Yeah. So
nothing I saw in this seemed out of place. It was everything was spot on.
Yeah, Laurie Matix was her name. Laurie Matix was the 14-year-old.
Yeah, they practiced together a lot.
Yeah, 4 hours a night, 5 nights a week for 6 weeks, so they could look like a fucking band. That's
Yeah,
Ah.
and the drums themselves, you could see the marks on the drum heads that they were
Mhm.
used. They didn't look like brand new
Yeah,
movie props.
Probably
And
would
I
have been
really
easier to learn to
appreciated
play.
that.
It would have been easier to learn to play. And then
Mhm.
just do
Right?
it.
That's what I was thinking. Like, bruh, like you can learn bass like that.
Yeah.
I will
That's
say this:
pretty
there's
cool.
no way that's Jason Lee singing.
No. It's
Right.
not.
Yeah, they had a
It
bunch
does
of
look
musicians
good. They
work on
do
this.
look the part. Absolutely, they do look the part.
Yeah.
It's
In
brilliant.
the music credits for the film, though, Stillwater gets
Frampton.
the music credit, which is fucking hilarious. It was
Yeah.
actually Peter Frampton and Nancy Wilson
was
that wrote
Frampton,
most
yeah.
of their songs.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, it's not supposed to be fucking Billy Crudup. He wasn't. It was supposed to be Brad Pitt.
Right.
But Brad Pitt didn't. He they were working, and he's like, I just don't fucking get it, dude. So then in comes Billy Crudup. I don't think Brad Pitt honestly would have been a good fit for this.
Well,
He's
he had
too much
Fight
of a
Club,
star.
too.
It would have taken away from the movie.
It wasn't
Yes.
until halfway through the film that I realized it was Billy Crudup. I thought it was James Marston.
Right.
Oh yeah. I can see
And
that.
plus,
From X-Men?
and plus,
Yeah, I
No, I love this
I
guy
mean,
though.
and Jason Lee over Brad Pitt. I mean, Jason Lee has a longer face, so he looks more thin, kind of like that starving artist. Where Brad's got he's a little more full in the cheeks.
And also Brad was a lot younger here, so it was a different era of Brad Pitt.
Right.
This
He
is
was
probably
Tyler
still in the
Durden
era
at
where
that
I don't fucking like Brad Pitt. I didn't like him for a long time.
Well, wasn't he doing Snatched this year?
Or Fight Club. One of
I
the
think
Had
that
to
was
be
this
around
the year
about
one.
then.
I forget when Fight Club came out. It might have been this
Look,
year.
all I know is I expect this guy to say his name is Inigo Montoya and you killed my father.
I thought.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
That
I thought
actor
they
was
filmed
actually-
Fight Club in '99.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, I mean, that's
So
when they filmed
now-
this.
I'm pretty
too,
sure
right?
Snatch is 2001 though.
Okay. And that's so it's around the I guess we're
Yeah.
starting to like Brad Pitt. I didn't like him in the
Right.
90s. I thought he was a bit of a twat, but he matured. He
I mean,
matured
you can
well.
be a
I like
twat
him
and
as
still be
actor now.
really good in a film role. So,
Yes.
No,
Sean
acceptable, but
Penn.
it was all the roles that he was taking before that. Fucking River Runs Through It bullshit. All that.
I liked
all
him in
those
Interview with a
fucking-
It's
Vampire.
not a bad movie. A River Runs
Meet
Through
Joe
It.
Black. That
Legends
was
of the
God,
Fall.
who is here? Who are you people?
Legends of the Fall. Great
It-
film.
Oh, Snatch is 2000.
Yeah, Snatch is when he really broke out, and then he started doing the Ocean's movies and stuff.
Yeah,
was good
and
in
I think
those.
that's when he really came into his own. This is funny because this is where you realize how William is getting used. He's getting used by Russell because he's telling him, "Hey, we're going up to LA at the Riot House. Make sure you bring your friend Penny Lane.
Right.
We want her around like last summer when she was fucking 15. Cool.
Right. Gross.
Ugh.
Weirdos.
And he's trying to be cool here.
Squeaker.
Though. It's funny. He's like talking to everybody because
Squeaker.
he's already memorized
My
everybody's
prison
names.
lover is in the chat. Hello, little mouse.
Squeaker! Squeaker! Welcome.
Hi,
We love
Squeaka.
us the mouse here. at
Squeak,
the
are you
Empire.
trying to
We
tell us
do.
something? Like you might have been like this in your younger years? Following bands around.
Oh my.
Oh
Squeaker,
my.
you must tell me the next
No,
pillow.
I know what it is. Squeaky just did their laundry. That's all.
Right.
Sure.
This is the let's go to Morocco scene. And William says immediately, ask me again. And she asked him again. But the let's at the ask me again wasn't scripted. He was actually asking Kate Hudson to do the part again. Because he didn't like his delivery originally, but Cameron Crowe liked it so much he just kept the whole scene as was.
I mean, it really works.
It does.
It was a
It's just
smart move.
it's natural.
Right.
It's too bad. Like I said, aside from the video game, which wasn't good, he didn't really do very much after this.
Right.
And he's like
Agreed.
41 now. William Miller is 41. This is
Sick. I was gonna say Crudup did the voice of the protagonist in Princess Mononoke.
Stop making things up. We've talked about this.
Princess Mononoke is good stuff.
You can
not
only
like that movie?
mention Japanese anime on the stream 4 times. Otherwise, we will get
and I get a copyright.
yeah,
hit.
we'll get a copyright.
It's like fucking
right.
it's like Beetlejuice.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
This scene's awesome.
That stems from playing like 50, like 5 seconds of some Japanese show,
and it's just
getting us
all
right.
over. And I gotta
Right.
So this scene is better in the extended version. That's not surprising. You actually see a lot more people in the lobby area here. It's a lot more. It's like, oh, there, Beard.
Hey, look, a ticket.
No, that's not him.
It is. Wow.
That guy has way too much hair.
And this kid is hilarious. He's a Zeppelin fan.
Yeah.
And I love this. He's like, and Mr. Jimmy Page signed my shirt right here with this pen. He certainly gives off some kind of autistic vibes, but that's okay. Everybody loves him.
For sure.
I mean,
oh no, and then they show him again later, and he has the entire lyrics to
oh yeah.
Oh my god, she's so hot.
These parties, man, this is so accurate. People come in and think they're hot. Oh yeah, this whole environment, the vibe, everything. This is all spot on.
This is very authentic.
Yeah.
Here's where William gets his illusion shattered.
She calls the whole
of why he is there, because what's her name? Anna Penguin. Paquin. What's her name in this?
Words are hard.
Pac-Man.
She has a name in
some
this?
other thing I can't fucking remember.
She's
Anyway.
Polexia Aphrodisia.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's
a
Anna.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name's Anna.
But she's describing exactly what's going to take place.
Dyslexia.
He's going to ignore her. She's going to ignore him, and then they're both going to leave. And he's like, "We have to stop them."
Yeah.
I
think Joker
and she's like, "Stop them! You were her excuse for coming up here."
Too late to stop now.
Yeah.
So this scene also, you get a better version on the extended one because they actually have a conversation before the coat goes over the window, which is good, but it's fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of setup in that scene too.
Yeah, that you just don't get the payout on with the coat going up, but it's better. Again, the whole extended version is better.
Right.
Damn, Gord.
Phone call with Ben Torres. Is this William Miller? Yes.
Yeah.
This is Ben Fong Torres, Rolling Stone magazine. Hello there. He changes his voice so he can say,
Hello.
And then he just sounds like a child being creepy.
I sympathize.
He doesn't sound older.
I sympathize. As a 40-year-old man who doesn't have a particular deep voice, that thought has crossed my mind a couple times when I was younger. It's like, maybe I should sound a little bit more like this. Like, no, you just sound like a dick.
There's no way.
Yeah, I never had that problem.
No way Beard of Liberty had a non-deep voice ever. He came out of the womb. He was like,
Basso profundo, I think.
See, I don't know what y'all hear, but what I hear definitely isn't the same thing.
Like teachers would call my house when I misbehaved in school, and I'd answer the phone. That they'd be like, "Mr. Sammy Three-Peat's last name." I'd be like, "This is."
Right.
Yes.
Hello.
Oh, holy crap! That's Terry Chin. Yeah. I knew I recognized his voice.
That's Fish Boy right there.
I don't know what that means.
It's from House of a Thousand Corpses.
I don't know.
Well, I know him from a couple of different sci-fi TV shows. Yeah, he's good.
The Office.
I don't like Rob Zombie stuff.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I like his music. I don't prefer his film production stuff. Just is what it is.
I agree.
That's Rainn Wilson though from The Office. That's Dwight
Rainn
from
Wilson.
The Office. And again, almost unrecognizable. And he's not being an ass in this one, so it works out. So they want him to go on the road with Stillwater, and he's like, I can only offer you $750. And he sits there in silence because he's stunned.
Right.
Whoa,
that much?
$750
bucks. Okay, I can give you
in the early 70s. That could buy you like a car.
It was a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything to sneeze at.
Agreed.
And then when he upped it to 1,000, that was pretty good money.
Yeah, I didn't like
especially for a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially for his first one. Well, second job, right? This is
I just like the fact that he was so stunned that he was being offered $750. Right. That pause was the reason that he's holding out for more.
Yeah, because Bang Cream over here offered him $30 or something.
This is what I imagine that 70s rock fans' room looks like when you don't see the organized office that we see. The rest of it is
yes.
It's what I'd like it to look like if I was allowed to.
Right.
My
And
Oh,
for the
it
line
is
from later in
rapidly
the movie.
becoming this,
When I
unfortunately.
was some of my places I've had when I was single did look like that. Yes, absolutely. Except less tidy.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's what I was thinking. It was like if I was not married, that's what it would.
Although we should ask, we expect the records, but shag carpet, yes or no?
No.
For sure.
Well, shag on the carpet or shag carpet? Which are you talking about?
I
That's why it's
forgot
called
there was
shag
a
carpet.
translation there.
It's the best carpet to shag on.
Shag carpet's great
Yeah.
because you don't. I mean, it
That's
just
why it's called shag.
Shag carpet soaks up so much. It's great.
Oh, dear.
Oh, I didn't need to know that.
That's why God
Well,
made
you need a
Febreze.
steam clean it in there.
Yeah, if you've
Yeah.
never dealt with shag carpet, it's not as cool as it sounds.
He's got plates on
Yeah.
his fucking desk.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Now there was one place that shag carpet did belong, though. It was inside your van with the
van,
painting of a dragon
of
and a
course.
wizard on the outside.
On the
Yeah.
side.
Down by the river.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Roman, isn't his
Down by
sink
the
right
river.
next to those? Isn't his
It
sink
might.
like right there?
He's got like all these food boxes fucking everywhere, overflowing ashtray, some kind of meds.
Beer bottle over on the thing.
This room
See-
probably smells like beer. And
Oh, yeah.
You
MPO.
say that he had plates on his desk. I think that's his kitchen counter. I think his
Yeah.
music has
That's
just
right. I
thought
spilled
that was
over
his-
Yeah, I
into his
think so
living
too.
room.
oh, shit, you're right. What a fucking animal! I love it.
But where's
So
his
he-
lava lamp? Oh, there it is. Is
I
that it
know,
next to
right?
the lamp down there? No. That's
No, that looks like
No, that's
like a
I think it's
salt
another-
rock
or,
lamp.
Yeah, it's a salt rock lamp. Yep.
I do have a lamp
So
like that,
it-
though. I have to say.
Yeah,
And that's to
doesn't
soak up
remind
all
me
that
of the
moisture
leaves.
in the shag carpet.
Yeah.
I got a lamp just like I have a lamp just like that. There you go.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
He's trying to tell William basically, they're gonna want to be your friends, man. You can't be friends with them. They want to buy you drinks and booze and drugs and all this stuff, but you can't do it. Just right. He's like, and what are you listening to right now? He's like, Stillwater. He fucking hangs up
Click.
on him.
Yeah.
Kids on
Yeah,
drugs.
because he recognizes
It's on
that
drugs. Yes.
he recognizes that you can't be friends with the people that you're going to write an objective
You
piece
can't.
about, because all they're going to do
Right.
is do all the things to make you write the best article about them. And he realized this kid is an actual fan, and he's just kind of like,
Right.
because he feels bad for him. I get the feeling for like he just hangs up like he's lost.
Well, no, and he raises a good point. Like, if you want to be kind of taken seriously, this shouldn't be a fluff piece where you kiss their ass.
And he's only 15 years old. Is the thing? He's 15.
And he just went
Now, it's hard for him to
backstage,
do that.
so I'm sure his first instinct is to be like, "Oh my god, they're so cool."
Yep, of course. If you were
How was that
15
again?
and you got to meet,
Red Dog.
I was 15 in the 80s. So, if I gotten to meet Agent Orange or the class was over
Yes!
by that point, but you know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
But the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this is fun. She's like, no more than 4 days. And you can only miss one test.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Get right
That
on
4
that.
days
Mom.
turns into a long fucking 4 days though.
Yeah, it does.
Up. Tour bus.
Just a little bit.
It's
Tour
the thing.
bus.
Dude, the tour bus.
So
The
Roman,
one
my
thing that
friend,
they didn't really get about this
Yes.
is the way that it feels inside of there with the heat and the wet smell and the
Yeah.
tension of everybody
okay,
sitting
got
in
it.
the same
Sorry.
spot for hours and hours.
Um,
Like,
So
sorry
Rock
to-
fan, you got to drop out,
I'm
buddy.
sorry to do this to y'all. Yeah, it's such good fun. It's been real fun hanging out. We'll do it again soon though. But yeah, I gotta go unfortunately. So thank you for having me.
Great
Well,
to meet
thank
you.
for being here. What do you
Oh,
have
it's
coming
my
up, my
turn.
friend? I'm gonna
Uh,
blow you up. Don't panic.
What
do you have coming up?
Well, there's
It's
one
too
thing I would
big.
like to. One thing I would like to plug is my show next Monday on my channel is about one of my favorite artists of all time, legendary drummer Cozy Powell,
Really?
who was major league drummer in the 70s and 80s and 90s till his untimely death. So Rainbow, Whitesnake, Black Sabbath, as well as his own solo career, played on dozens of albums. Brilliant drummer. So that's what the show is about. I'll have two great road managers that used to work with him as well
Right
on the
on.
show. Willie Fife and Colin Hart, Deep Purple and Rainbow road managers. So
wow.
that should be a lot of fun.
That sounds awesome.
Yes,
That does
Cozy
sound-
Powell, the only man, the only drummer to do the 1812 Overture live on stage every night. the whole 18-year-old. Well, no, just a bit of it, but you know,
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
he's an incredible drummer if you've never heard of him. Anyway, thank you guys, and thanks everyone in the
Right
chat.
on, brother.
Enjoy the rest of the
thanks
show.
for
I'm
being
really
here.
sorry
You
I have
take
to
care.
go.
Take care, man.
Cheers. Bye.
It's nice meeting you.
Bye.
See you, buddy.
That 70s rock fan, legend.
Legend.
So what you're saying is those who have experienced this, so tour buses now are much nicer than what we're seeing here.
Wait a minute. Something happened. Where's Courtney?
Courtney's not.
Yeah, we
She's
She had
swapping
to
from
drop
her-
out. She'll come back.
Yeah, she'll come
in
back.
a
She had to
minute.
swap from her phone to her laptop.
Oh, okay. All right.
Roman, don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Just
I mean, if you want another
And think of the
female
good old days when you
representation in the
invented
the-
meantime, I mean, I could ask Wika.
running here.
Come on, huh?
So Sammy, so
We need
Sammy,
more
you've been
women.
so Dempsey and Sammy, you've been on tour buses. I'm sure you've seen the gamut. Are tour buses still kind of like this, or are they much nicer?
Okay, not all tour buses are created equal.
Correct.
Okay.
So, mine was basically a van where we took out a couple of seats, so whoever wasn't driving, you could kind of like lay out in the back, and we had a pull along trailer with all our equipment in it. But some of the better, guys who actually had like tour buses and stuff, when they had stuff like this, yes, you're sitting on a leather seat. Imagine being on a school bus for hours. People start to stink. Right. You're on there for like 4 days straight. You might as well be on the saddle in a desert, man. You're getting some ball stank for sure. And then, some guys are plucking on their instruments, but like that shit gets old pretty quickly considering you all have to sleep on there.
Can you please shut the fuck up?
Yeah, but I'm writing something. It was like, figure it out.
It's the same messed up chord for 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Or even better, ting, ting, ting. No. Ting, ting. Nah, that's not it. And it was like, can you at least talk to yourself while you're playing the same note over it? Or can you have an inner monologue? But a good example was in Toledo, and I think 1999. I went on Twisted Brown Truckers tour bus. I know the organ player in Kid Rock's band very well, and so they were all on one bus, and it was nice. And it was like by the time that tour had ended, the next tour that they went on, every single member of the band had their own bus. I mean, and the nicer ones, they have cots, they have not cots, but bunk beds, things like that. But if you're sitting in there and someone's getting drunk, or you kind of want to limit all the people drinking on the bus, because you don't want to have 4 or 5 people needing to take a piss at the same time. Right.
Every couple minutes.
It is not glorious.
Look, I haven't experienced tour buses or submarines, but I have to think that a submarine provides you just slightly more privacy than a tour bus.
Oh, I would agree. And it's true though. Like the way that they're talking, especially you see the tour bus. Like there was one time, I live in Michigan. We were going to Texas for the South by Southwest Festival, and and like there were times like guys who stood up in my wedding where it was just like, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you make another noise. It was it's like 3 a.m. You're on the road, and then someone just starts like, I know some of my friends talk in their sleep. I know that I talk in my sleep. And it was like, I'm positive that people were just looking over me going like, die. Fucking guy. And then
that is why earplugs were invented.
Then you get to the hotel, you stretch your legs, you party a little bit, and you're boys again. But I was like, tensions run the highest on the tour bus. I think you can agree, Dempsey.
Yeah. And one of the least realistic things about this whole scenario is that throughout the whole movie, the drummer's just banging on shit, and nobody ever tells him to stop.
Oh my god!
Oh no, drummers are the fucking worst.
Never.
Oh my god, they never
on everything
stop.
all the time.
Or the tiny dancer scene. The awkward silence before the tiny dancer scene would be conservatively 2 days.
Yeah.
I got a question. I got a question. Am I the only one on a stream that hasn't been in a band?
I haven't.
Oh, you have? Okay.
But
I've never toured, but I have played live several times.
You've been to Japan though, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, but that still doesn't mean I was in a band.
That's true.
That's
I guess
almost
it
like
means
a band, right?
I like this dude, and I think we're probably pausing right here because I think Roman wants to call this guy out for like your mother's intense.
Oh,
Yeah,
isn't that
it
the
was
dude
just
from
so
Modern
good.
Family?
Would you be Mr. Miller?
Yes.
It's like I
Talk
got two
to your
pencils.
mother, Elaine. She's a lot.
His name
He
is Shelton.
freaked me out.
Yeah, tell her to
I
stop.
actually paused that because I was laughing so hard.
A little character is just fucking great stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
agreed.
I'm sorry, y'all just keep talking. Since I'm a drummer, I have to tap on things. So just
I've
Agreed. Me too.
got two.
Yeah, you know what would happen after like 7 days on the road? Someone would walk up to you, snap your sticks over their knee,
Throw 'em
and
out the
then
window.
just throw them.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I'll replace them later.
get knocked unconscious by a bass guitar.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I can play percussion too.
Wait,
Yeah.
does that
So
mean you like women, Steven? Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But the whatever the guy checking in at the hotel. I think the only other person I've seen like play that role that I like better is the dude from Law and Order when he's in Fear and Loathing. When he's like that's probably my other favorite like check-in
It's
scene.
been so long since I've seen that.
I have a rough time with Fear and Loathing just because it's so fucking disjointed.
Yes.
It's intentionally so, and I know that, but I'm very old. So it's a lot for me. So he's trying to get his interview with Russell, saying, "Please go the fuck away! Please go the fuck away!" she's
okay?
Like, she's like, "You were so rude," and William switches the sign around.
Yeah, that was
awesome. That's our first sign of his jealousy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is this
petty revenge?
Is this Rosie with the pot? No, this is not Rosie with the pot. This is William's mother.
So this is the thing where they're just like, they see him as so harmless. They're like, yeah, you can just room with us. There ain't no fucking way I could have done that.
No. It's just like,
when I was 15,
women, he likes women. You did a wonderful job. It's more than I've told my own mother. And she laughs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything malicious with the people around him, at least regarding him being kind of this young kid. It's just like they see him as like, well, no, he's a good kid. I mean, eventually, yes, they do take advantage of that.
Is kind of important though, Beard. This is when Russell comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, we need to talk for a second." There's basically, some of us have wives, some of us has girlfriends, but this is also a scene where he explains, I've grown past the band. I can't play everything I can play with them, but I've been with these guys for so long, they're getting bigger houses, more responsibilities. And he's also like, there's some things it's okay for like a few people to know, but not like a million. And then William gets, he's like, oh, I can't, there are, things I cannot actually talk about here.
Right. I think the thing I like the most about this movie is it had every once in a while it would have these like gems of a line that came out that were real profound, like that. Like,
yeah,
the better these, the more popular we get, the less I can leave because of all the responsibilities they're taking on, those kinds of things.
Right.
I mean, because I've definitely played in bands with people that I absolutely recognize were leagues beyond my ability.
Right.
And that, that is something that's kind of humbling. And, for some people, different personalities can be difficult to accept, but that's the reality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I will say though that one, the phone call from the scene earlier, had I been in that situation and my mom answered the phone, she would have just totally bought that hook, line, and sinker and said like, "Oh, good, he's not doing drugs."
Right.
There would have been no way. I 15 trying to go. Nah.
Oh no,
I ordered a plant.
I'd have been handcuffed in a closet somewhere.
No, just because
Oh,
it was
yeah,
so
yeah.
candid, my mom's gonna be like, "Well, he's holding his own. This hippie girl wouldn't lie to me."
Why,
Sure,
no,
sure, sure.
Now, if my
This
dad was
scene
on the other line,
inspired by an incident with Ace Frehley, is where he got electrocuted by a mic at a show.
oh
And
yeah,
in fact, that's a real thing. By the
yeah,
way,
no, it could happen.
Oh yeah.
Fuck my life. We were playing this shithole, Buster fuck alls. I don't know what its name was.
Buster
First of all,
Fuckall.
the
Oh, Buster
light
Fuckles. I've
was
been there.
the light was all red, so I
Court,
couldn't see
what's
my
up?
fucking fretboard for fuck. And then every time I got too close to the mic, it would zap me, and it was like mother fuck, And it was fine. It was a good gig.
Oh yeah, I almost
Really?
blew myself up on a show one time. The sound guy actually had to grab me
Hey,
because I was dancing
shit.
around. And I had a pitcher of water, and I
Oh,
dumped it
no.
on myself, because I'm dancing around during like this one solo, and all of a sudden I feel someone grab me by my collar, and it's the sound guy, and I was like, "Hey, what the hell was that all about?" He's like, "You were standing on the main power output for the entire stage," and I was like, "Oh, dang."
So
Wow.
Like the X marks the spot kind of thing. You're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So
right
I
in the
am going to
middle.
just go ahead and just drag everything to a halt real quick, because Roman, if you hadn't noticed, it's Courtney has joined us officially, and if you have an
Hi,
intro,
Courtney.
you need to
There she is.
do it.
Courtney.
Hi, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But if it makes you feel any better, I believe the nurses were actually listening. Well,
Yes.
So,
I have my
no,
appointment. That's what it
I
sounded like.
just wanted to
apologize to
point it
everybody
out
there.
so that you can have your official intro, because you deserve your official intro.
Oh,
Yeah,
nobody
no,
needs
it's
to know who
true.
I am.
I don't know,
But I
did
do
you-
want to
did-
point out, he said, Roman, you mentioned Agent Orange. I heard that when I was
Yes.
switching over. And right behind me, I don't know if you can see that red kind of thing above the dog bowl.
Oh, yeah.
That's from
Okay.
the Agent Orange show just recently. I think that's
Oh,
Nice.
Oh,
Oh, Courtney's going to get it.
I'll show it
There's
to
the
you.
dog.
But you were just bringing up this is
Oh,
the
nice.
next door.
Fuck yeah. I
Nice.
love Agent Orange
Very
so
excellent.
much.
Right?
They get better every time.
They really changed my vision of music, because I mean they were surf punk out of LA. Now I was Ramones, I was Clash, and then
They were skate
Agent
punk,
Orange.
yeah.
Agent Orange
I'm Mrs.
snuck in from
Sassy.
the West Coast and fucked me up. Hey, Mrs. Sassy, and I fucking
Hello.
love them so much. I still have the original tape. My buddy Gene Booth, who was the original bass player for H2O, if anybody is familiar with them.
I know. Yeah.
So he and I went to school together. So he gave me I have that like the handwritten fucking CDK tape or whatever they were back in the day that he gave me from the Agent Orange.
I have that from the
Living in
band
Darkness album.
Caius. I have a
What was it?
cassette tape that was
What-
handmade.
Caius. Oh my god, I love Caius.
What
Oh
was it?
yeah,
Not too long
Caius is
ago.
awesome.
Not too long ago, I think last year, Agent Orange and the Vandals played at a bar not too far from where I work.
Oh fuck yeah.
Nice.
My
That's
god.
probably the same tour I saw him on.
Now I don't know. I think Mike might be the only one left from Agent Orange. I think everybody else
The
is
singer.
new, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
I'm
the
not
way
sure.
it goes sometimes. I talked about this
Yeah.
before when I went to see Blue Oyster Cult and
Nice.
Magic Carpet Ride.
Steve
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf.
Step-
The only people who were left were the
Oh,
singers.
Steppenwolf.
Everybody else was newish, but they were still all old guys, so it worked out. So
Are you
here
from
we
the
get the
West
great
Coast?
me.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
No,
Are you
I'm
West
an
Coast?
East Coast dude. I grew up in DC, around DC, so that's where Fugazi. I actually
Oh.
played with those guys.
I went to the
That was my
930
scene
Club
back in
and
the
all
day.
those places.
Up 930, yes. Yes, I
Yeah,
love
I'm
them.
from
I saw
Philly,
the solo
so-
jerks there.
Yep, I
East
saw,
Coast
I
lives
saw
West Coast.
Motorhead
Oh.
with Morbid Angel there. that
Oh,
was a
nice.
crazy show.
Wow.
I bet that was awesome.
Yeah. And then the Black
Hell
Cat
yeah.
was that was DC or Baltimore. Black Cat. I think that might
Don't
be
know.
Baltimore, but I would go as far as Washington and then as north as Boston for shows, like driving.
Oh wow, yeah, I was
Yeah,
around. It was
I
just
booked
DC,
shows, so-
Baltimore, and that kind of stuff because that's as far as we went.
Baltimore, good old Baltimore. I got my John Waters
Good Baltimore.
Funko Pop behind me.
Wow.
Really?
Wow.
Oh my god, Max.
But
Yeah, that's a John Waters Funko Pop right there. It's funny.
It was called the
No,
Achy
you were
Breaky
a
Band.
ways away, Boosh. You were a ways away. I was actually down in Maryland. We just went to DC because that was the place. I was in shithole fucking cousin fucking Maryland. It was terrible.
Hi,
I got
Jacob.
married in Maryland. Yeah.
I can't. I hate.
I'm divorced now, so that maybe has something to do with it.
So here we are in the trailer trashing scene after the electrocution because everybody is rightfully pissed off.
Holy shit! I love this.
And the extended scene is better because Dick does some fucking crazy karate moves for a long time.
Yeah,
he actually fights the dude.
And
what's he say? What are you, Bruce Lee? Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, and that's what's his face too. He's a comedian. Shit.
I got nothing here.
He's got his own podcast.
Him? Not him.
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have no
He did a
idea.
good job.
There's a lot of really
Big name comedian.
What the fucking
Mark
name?
Maron.
What
Mark
the
Maron.
fuck? Mark Maron. Okay.
Never heard of him.
Me either, but that's okay. And
This is awesome.
Fucking Sapphire's like, hey, talk to your mom.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Right.
gosh, that's
The metaphor for her. Whole
even though
life
my
right there.
parents were totally like allowed me to do anything. My mom still would do that though. Like if I was leaving somewhere, she'd embarrass me.
Yeah.
That's just how she would do it on purpose.
Yeah. That scene right there is a metaphor for her whole life, I think. While she
I
wasn't
imagine
paying
so.
attention, she hit the wall.
Do you guys want to buy a fucking gate?
Oh,
Yeah.
Peace out, Steve.
Ultimately, bad decision. Bad
Steve.
decision, which we get the full
Take care,
impact of later on in the movie. But
Oh yeah, and yeah. That I think
hey,
that's Jimmy
wake up,
Fallon's
guys!
best
Wake
part.
up! He's like, just let it go, man. Just
Yeah,
let
this
it
part
go.
was kind of like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This was
kind of.
I found this creepy.
Yeah. Weird. Yeah. There's a lot of weirdness happening in here.
I guess
Weird,
in the 70s,
weird.
guys
Different
weren't afraid
time,
to express their
man.
masculinity in the male gaze. like,
I think they were just showing Prince.
It was
Not in a
like male
fucking
gaze here.
bus.
Or it was just added by the weirdos out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
okay. Let me put this in perspective, though.
I think it was showing the difference of the people like they're going on tour and this is what's happening in real life, kind of.
Right.
I don't know.
But
Well, yeah,
also,
because they're the same age, or probably close to it anyway. Penny,
Right.
Lane,
Yeah.
those
Mhm.
girls are the
Probably
same, but they're
probably William's age.
Yeah.
Right?
and if this would have been a bus of military dudes going somewhere, the exact same thing would happen. So,
Mhm.
Oh, military dudes be pressing pickle at this point.
Ah,
What?
They're not good.
ah.
Against the
Like
glass,
that.
pressing
I
pickle.
don't want to know.
Is that anything like scissoring?
Yes.
Okay.
She's kind of quizzing them. How do you feel about Russell?
Minor
I like him. He's a nice guy. Yeah, me too. This is they do a rest stop thing. I love this.
and this,
They're buying stuff, getting on the bus, and then he
Yeah.
comes out of the
Just the
bathroom and the bus
singer.
is leaving. Like, I'm only the lead fucking singer. Don't worry about me.
Right.
and this,
Right.
this scene right here, like reinforces his thoughts.
It
of,
does.
Exactly.
It's
Like,
Exactly.
hey, they don't really respect me. Although I'm
Nope,
supposed to
not
be
a
like the
fucking
front
ounce.
man.
Right. Right. And
I
it
mean,
does
yeah,
in a
yeah,
comedic
but
way.
also when you're dealing with a large group, even just like a family road trip, sometimes you just assume everybody's on board and you start driving away and go, "Hey,
Right.
where's
That's the premise of Home Alone.
Kevin.
I can relate to that way too.
Yeah,
Well.
that's
I'm the
why you
oldest of
have
9
to-
kids. So, but there were only 4 at the time at the house, but still, yeah, road trips. Someone would be missing always. You couldn't find
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And I'd get in trouble because I was the oldest kid. So
Try being in charge of like a 50-person troop movement. You just,
Yeah,
you gotta
and
keep, yeah.
half your staff.
I was
are
a teacher,
fucking
so I
20
do
young.
understand a little more of that too.
Oh.
But yeah,
Likewise. Yep.
I hate young people. I hate all of them.
Especially if you're
I
trying.
think
if
I
you
do
had
at this
like
point. I think I do too. Except for
They're
my
rough.
nieces and
They're
nephews.
horrible.
I
Nah,
love
actually
this
jerks.
scene
Oh, with the
So
phone.
that lady.
fucking much.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
forget what this girl's name
Oh,
is. Not the actress. I have no idea who the actress is. The character, and she's like,
Your
"You have such an
aura.
amazing aura."
Aura,
And she's like,
yeah.
"You're gonna stay with you." And she's like, "It's
It's
okay. I have
hurtful.
hydroponic pot."
Yeah, right.
This was like every conversation I had on the phone in high school where I just wanted to be like, "Will you shut the fuck
And
up?"
she's like, "Shut up!"
Right.
And she's like, and now you can't hear her. She's saying, "I love you." Wait, what? I love you and I miss you. I love you too, and then they laugh.
Right.
I
And
felt
then
genuinely bad for
she
the
just
mom
throws
here.
the fucking phone.
That was
Like I
set
felt
up
for the mom
later.
here.
Right.
Like she was
he looked right at
concerned.
Earl and said, I love you. Right.
William finally gets his interview.
Sorry.
You know, do you need to be in love to write a love song? Do you need to be, blah, 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 blah. He's like, when did you get so professional? Then they get derailed by the t-shirt incident. The t-shirts are fucking hilarious because everybody's out of fucking focus except for Russell, and the band gets pissed. And he's like, before you guys go crazy, can we just skip to the part where we laugh about all this?
Right.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? And this is the Jeff and Russell's fight come to a head here.
This is like so realistic. Like
Agreed.
this is,
especially between a lead guitarist and a singer. I
Oh,
can totally
yeah.
see this happening completely.
Yeah. And I mean, as far as the shirts go, it makes sense from a merch company. They would just look at the most marketable person and want to feature them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not thinking
it's a
about band
barbecue
dynamics. They're not
Right.
thinking about how the other members of the band are going to see this. They just go, oh, this is our guy. We're going to put him front and center.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
Jeff is like, this is the part where you quit the band, right? And Russell's like, yeah, I'm so predictable.
Well, deal with it. That was what he said.
Yeah, oh, yeah, and your looks are becoming a problem.
Right.
yeah, that part.
Like, what? And then they all walk out, and he tells William to stay.
That
He's
look
like,
on his face.
I love this though. He steals the shirt.
Yeah, because he knows
Yeah.
it's going to be famous.
Oh my
Well,
god!
he does that. He does that throughout the entire film. He's always
Yes.
grabbing souvenirs because he's a
extended version,
fan.
You see this though. He's just
Souvenirs.
with this bag full of shit that
Right.
splits open like a
Mhm.
pinata.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Yep.
only interested in
So-
what's real. I'm only interested in what's real.
Right.
I'm imagining that this has happened with bands like the Go-Go's, with
Probably
like,
all of them.
as with like No Doubt when the focal point kind of says, "Hey, I got great news. There's a deal with X label, except it doesn't involve any of you."
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, think of any behind the music you've ever watched where it was like
Right.
behind the
Mhm.
stage, things were falling apart.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
this
Here's
again
more
is
weirdness
great.
here.
So
They-
These are kids.
I can relate to this for sure.
Yeah. The house
Just being
This
out
might
on the
seem-
road and then someone invites you to a party and then you're like, oh,
Hey, we're
All
just
right.
really critique of people,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, and William's like, no. And Russell's just nodding.
Yeah. This setup.
I'm
Very,
a golden
very on the
god.
nose. Yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, this is like any fucking party from the era.
Oh, I mean, this is like a
I mean, any party
high
from my
school
era
kid
too.
party now. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
they're just
Glorious.
listening to way shittier music. They're like, oh, do you like the single? It's
This
called
kid-
Ambulance Sirens and Babies Crying.
Right.
Wait for the
Right.
bass to drop.
Right.
Skibbity toilet.
Wait for the
So-
bass to drop.
Drop the bass.
At the risk of this sounding a little bit like a self-insert, this is kind of how I feel. I intend to be like praise for you folks that I've met through YouTube. This kid's journey, like being like almost famous, as the movie is titled, is kind of how I feel like going through YouTube. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I've met some really awesome people along the way. So there was this kind of like this like ancillary like relation that I had to this film in a totally different realm that kind of hit home. It's like
Well,
this is
Beard?
pretty cool.
Well, Beard, if you were to come to Vegas, this is exactly how it is.
All the time.
Yeah.
When I was a teenager or whatever, I never went to a house party. I never went to a dance at school. I didn't go to a prom. I almost didn't go to my graduation because I thought they were pretentious.
Me too. I was the same.
Same.
Well, you're not wrong.
I
I
went
hang out with kids from my high school.
I
hang
went
out
to
with
an
kids
all boys
from
school. I went
school.
to 7 proms.
Wow.
7 boys?
Hold on.
What do you,
No,
what do you,
no,
Matt,
no.
what do you hold up?
Because you met,
Hold
you
on.
met
Wait a
girls.
minute.
You
Yeah,
met
wait a
girls
minute.
from other
What are you,
schools.
what are you
Right.
trying to tell us there?
So you went to an all guy school, but they all had friends, girls that they knew in different groups. So I
Right.
ended up going to 7 different proms because all these girls had friends, and so Wesner Tuxedo gave me a free one on the 7th one because they felt bad for my parents. And
Well, but let me clarify also is I spent a large majority of my teen years overseas, so that was
Oh,
the
big
reason
difference.
why.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
I'll say
200
this,
Jordan.
I went to prom
They
and it
weren't at my
sucked.
school.
Miss anything, dude.
They do suck.
Yeah.
I remember I went to one prom and I had a big pink mohawk, and the photographer there, I guess, took more pictures of me. So when they had their like senior or their graduation party, all the pictures from the prom were pictures of me, and I didn't go to the school. That's
Nice.
I was like the mohawk girl. People thought I was.
Did
Like,
that dude try to hit on you later or something? If he's
no, he
taking
just
that
followed
picture.
me around
Oh,
like the whole time. I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
really
Bro,
like
like
that.
there's a
Yeah, he's just like the
yeah,
creepy
again,
dude from
did that dude
American
hit on
Beauty.
you?
Right.
Yeah.
I still
like
have not gone to a high school reunion, and I get asked every time it comes.
Yeah, I haven't gone either.
around, and they're like,
I got kicked out of mine.
I went to the 5-year,
Well,
and after
and they
that, I
asked-
was like,
I think
I
it was my
graduated.
Wanna know
35
why I
years
got
now.
kicked out?
So that didn't
well,
happen.
I think
they,
it was
I
35
got-
years.
I mean,
I got kicked out for wearing a bullet belt. They wouldn't let me. Like,
Nice.
not a bullet. Sorry, studded belt.
Seriously?
A studded
Oh my
belt.
God.
And I was
So-
like, I'm
Oh.
not leaving this because
Oh.
someone will
like
take it.
spike studded or just like normal
No,
studded?
it was just the plain, like flat, like a regular. But you would buy like Hot Topic, the like safe one. You know what I mean? Like,
Huh.
Wow.
not so-
Oh, they
Yeah.
look like little pyramids or something.
yeah, they
Yeah.
told me
Yeah.
they wanted me to
My-
take it off, and I was like,
Fuck off.
there we go. Just like high school. Bye.
Yeah.
So a kind of like funny, wholesome high school story is my friend group. We had this one guy. He was like in middle school because like grades kindergarten through high school all in one building because I went to a small school. My friend group made a pact that every single girl would take this one guy to prom with them. Like we would each take turns each year until he was old enough
That
to go to
looks good.
prom on his own. So like
Aw.
this dude got to go to prom since he was like in 7th grade.
Nice.
Wait, but that doesn't sound like that good of a deal. He's got to pay for everything.
No, he didn't have to pay for anything
Ooh,
except for his tie.
so modern.
So long story short, with my high school, my reunions, I get asked every time it comes around, why won't you come? And I'm like, I didn't like you in high school. What makes you think I'm gonna?
I don't like you now. And unfortunately,
You're
Joe,
right.
Yes.
those are the people who tend to go to the reunions. If
Yeah,
you're watching,
yeah,
I
yeah,
apologize.
Right.
yeah.
But you weren't the people I was hanging out with.
Right.
Oh,
Or
I
they're
hung
the
out with
people-
We were the misfits.
everybody.
See, we were the
Or-
ones you were making fucking fun of. So, you know.
Or they're the people
Fuck off.
that was like the highlight of their life.
Oh,
Yes.
I see.
Right.
I participated in everything. Like I was in student council. I was on the football team. I was in the
Oh, you're one
plays.
of them.
I was in the chorus.
It's
I
been
was.
nice having Sammy with us. Unfortunately,
Sammy, no Pete.
Sammy's like, that's not fucking funny, guys.
And I was a stoner the entire time. I don't know how I got away with it.
Let's come back. Let's come back to the movie for a minute. Otherwise, I'm going to get in trouble. This scene, another one of those kind of great, just tucked away spots here. Russell's going on about, how everything is real with these people.
he's
This is
tripping
real.
balls.
The room is real. And then
Yeah,
the kid just
tripping
like
balls.
turns to him and is like, do you want to see my snake eat a mouse? He's like, yes, I do.
Right.
I
Interrupt his
actually had
serious
someone
tirade.
ask me that question in college, and while the snake was eating the mouse, he goes, "I named him Pythagoras," and I was like, "Are you like a
Is it a
math
hero?
major?" And he goes, "No, it's just a cool sounding name."
Oh my god.
It's a puppy.
It's
Nice.
oh my god.
Unleash
So
the
this is
fury.
where there's acid in the beer in the red cups. Everybody, please don't give him any more acid. And this is where we end up on the roof. I am a golden god.
I did not
Right.
know that
And I'm on
It's Always
drugs.
Sunny was referencing
I-
this.
I've
And
seen
which one
stuff
of
like
us
this
haven't
before.
been there?
Hey.
Let he without sin
On a
cast the
roof.
first stone.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, he's high on his own farts right now. He's got a guy following him around.
I can
Like,
Right.
This guy really is, and he's out of his mind on drugs. On top of all that, on tour, got all this attention and people yelling
And he's
for
dealing
him
with
all
some
the
shit.
time.
So,
So they're just boosting his ego up.
oh my God,
now.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's like glowing.
And of course,
Right.
That's not a good idea.
This is the coolest thing that Topeka has ever seen.
Right.
Right.
And
They're
they're,
still
and
talking
they're
about
teenagers and they're high, so they just want to see this dude die.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
I was-
nowadays,
I
they
was
don't
on-
have
I
their
mean-
phones out and
I'm
then
on
be like,
drugs.
I'm going to get 1 million views.
The
I
sad
was on the
part
diving
is
Right.
team and tripped, and it's not fun. So he should not do this. That's all I have to say.
Hello, Jack. Ahoy.
the
A
sad
lot of
part
stuff
about
people
what
do.
he's going through right now is he's like completely disillusioned with what he with the music industry. At least
Right.
that's what I got from it. Like,
Yeah. And he's pissed
like
off
he-
at the band.
he wants to be great, but he's also kind of just done with it, and he just wants to
Mhm.
be with people who want to have a good time. That's why that he goes
Right.
through all the
Yes.
stuff that's real. That's why he wants to see us
Well,
sneaking
remember-
and things like that.
Beard, when they were in the dressing room scene with the t-shirt incident, and Jeff is yelling at him about his responsibility that he has to the band. He's like, didn't we get into this business to avoid responsibility?
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah,
Right. They have two very
Mhm.
different things, and he feels like he's carrying everybody.
yeah.
I-
He's got two different worlds colliding. He just
Right.
wants to, from what I feel, he just wants to get into the music because he loves music, but he feels like he's better than the people that he's having to carry, and
Right.
so he
Yes.
doesn't know how to handle it. So this is him just like letting go of everything and just going nuts.
As a
Right.
first watch, when he was on that roof, my immediate thought was, "Oh no!" I was waiting for him to like hit the pavement and have
Right.
the
Hurt
credits
himself,
start
yeah.
The
rolling.
last words were, "I'm on drugs."
Right. Right.
Yeah, and just be
No, no,
like,
no, no.
"Oh,
Wait,
they
I've got a better
they
one.
could have
I
been
love
something. They were
drugs.
almost famous."
I'm on drugs.
Credits.
Yeah.
Famous last words for most people is, "Hey y'all, watch this."
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yup.
I do like
Hey,
the
y'all,
comment
watch
that the girl
this.
says when he's talking to him. He's like, "No, I'm just gonna stay here." She's like, "Yeah, you're one of us now. You can live in my basement."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait,
That's
that
an
was
a
a
little
girl?
kid, right?
Yeah, that was a girl.
Right. This is probably somebody's house, like their parents went out of town for a weekend or
Exactly.
something.
Sure.
We've all
Right.
been there.
He's like, "But I'm one of them now."
We're gonna go on tour
Right.
now. You're gonna finish the tour, then you can come back here and live. I see what you're doing, and I like it.
Young
Yeah.
they are. Dude.
I'm
Then
king
he
of the
freaks out on
Topeka.
William though. This part's funny. How do I know you're not a cop?
Yeah.
He only
Oh,
means half of
goodness.
what he says.
Yeah. Which half? Yeah.
Did you guys never have a friend that did that? I had a friend who was a volunteer firefighter, and so he had the lights on his car, and we didn't get invited to high school parties. He drove up on the front lawn with his lights on to a party. I was in the car, and the whole party broke up.
Oh my
We were-
God.
Allegedly.
Oh
Allegedly.
my god.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
The line to the keg is much shorter now.
Yeah,
They're all
because we
running.
were like, why don't we never get invited to these things?
So
He was like, watch this.
I've never done anything as crazy as what he just did, but the looks on their faces, I have done things where people look at me with that same kind of look, and you're just this hit home. It's
Just
like
utter
I think a lot of
shock.
us have, where
Yeah.
you know that look, and it just hits you at your like right in the gut, and you're just like, oh man, I was an asshole.
Yeah, that whole day after a show thing, the morning after when you got to look at each other. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Well, and that was a thing too. Guys would like drift away from the tour bus, and then you would have to like, if you could,
Round them
track
up.
them down, and
Right.
then that's the face. Like, you son of a bitch, you put us
Yep.
2 hours.
That's
behind
everybody who's
schedule.
looking at him right now.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
it's perfect.
Mhm.
See, I had a different thing. I booked bands, and I would let them stay at my house because it was like a Monday night thing. So we'd get the bands that were passing through that needed I did a Monday punk night. So if they needed a show on a Monday, and I had a 2-story apartment a couple blocks away, so they would always just crash at my place, and the next morning would be like, they'd all kind of be like this, walking out like, thank you. You know, it's like everything like crazy.
Oh yeah, this looks like coming in, like going to work after a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
Mhm.
Well,
The- the
he's
Tiny
still got a
Dancer
head full of
scene
acid, so like,
Oh yeah, he's still.
I don't know if you guys have ever done acid, but like one of the big
know
things in
never.
acid is like a transition. So if you're
Right.
walking from a party where everyone's like basically on your dick, into a bus that you've already been on a million times and everyone is just giving you a death stare, that's probably how you would sit down. Like, oh my God, this is
the dude in the hat in Game of Thrones. Oh, you're talking about Dick. Dick, the manager.
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Go back and see.
I just recognized
that.
Yeah,
he is. Yep,
for sure.
He is.
Good call.
He had a small part.
Good eye. Yeah.
I drank my way through most of Game of Thrones.
Good night,
so
Zim. Thank you.
Say, there's a lot of people on this cast who are in Vanilla Sky too.
Oh, night, Zim.
I never seen Vanilla Sky.
As a matter of fact, one of them has the same character name, the drummer.
I've had that look. I've had a few of those looks for the morning after.
Oh, really?
Just like, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna.
Good job, Gord King.
I'm usually doing the walk of shame.
The best nights is when you expect to get that look and then like no one cares.
Right.
See, this is especially bad because
they're all like, oh.
Yeah, this is especially bad because sometimes you get that look and you can just walk away and you just leave it. They have to sit on a bus together.
Yeah,
for the next like 8 hours.
Yeah, but I'm saying on a head full of acid, that would just be such a downer.
This guy here, he totally looks like he's wearing like a wig from medieval times or something.
He does. he looks
I
like
his haircut.
he looks like Ted Neely in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yep.
He only has 2 words in the whole fucking movie. We aren't there yet, but he only has 2 words.
Right. Well, the same character is in Vanilla Sky, which is weird.
You're right. I guess 4 technically. So the Tiny Dancer scene is a lot of fun. It's just everything seems to just kind of the world writes itself in that scene.
Right.
And it's fun to see it all slowly come together. You know, the other guitar starts to sing, and then fucking it just all starts to everybody just chills the fuck out.
Look, the world would be better if we all just embraced Tony
2 days
Danza.
down the road. This would not be immediate because everybody hates you.
Tony Danza.
Everybody, everybody hates him. Right now.
It's a fringe joke. Tiny Dancer, Tony Danza. Come on.
Yeah.
You said Tony Danza.
It's for yeah. What's her fuck? Phoebe.
Yeah.
And he's like, I need to go home, and she's like, You are
home.
You're home.
Hey, Hiawatha and Jack. Sorry for stop by.
You are home.
And then,
and at this point too, I would be like, "Stop cuddling me, slut."
Right?
Pull me closer, Tony. Sorry.
Oh, this was cute.
This girl keeps looking at it. The extended version of this is fucking actually gold because this scene goes on for a minute. So she's trying to do the class, and this girl's right. And she's like, I can't do this. My son has been kidnapped by rock musicians.
And she writes it down.
And then she just leaves. And now William's gonna get an ass chewing. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, he's talking to Lester.
Yeah, he's getting invited.
Oh yeah, this is when he gives him the brilliant. It's a think piece about a middling band.
Yeah. He's like, I don't really have anything. He's like, don't. Yeah, just feed him this. He'll wet himself. And I forget where they are right now. They're in some fucking nowhere town.
Well, a lot of what happens early on, it seems to be fairly regional. It's only later on where when he starts kind of having that, I need to finish this so I can go home, that they're getting further and further away. And especially once they get the jet. But everything from early on just kind of feels like it was West Coast-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now they're in the fucking the mid states. And that's what the girl screaming, I'm bored.
Right.
Can relate to that.
And this is where she's like, let's deflower Opie.
Yeah, let's deflower the kid.
Right.
Great.
Which is gross.
Great.
This scene is funny. He's like, whoa. It's like, I thought we'd go home, get to know each other a little better, and then I'd see you.
All right. I usually do it in that order.
Wait, didn't he say, I thought we'd get to Morocco? Or something, right?
Yeah.
This is where he starts getting a little too honest, though. He's like, if I were you, and I'm not saying this is happening, I might feel like someone was using me. And she's like, if anybody said that to me in the real world, he's like, wait, just stop. And then before he actually gets to say what he wants to say, the girls bust in.
Do you think so he's already in love with her by this point, right?
Right.
Yeah,
he was in love with her from the
absolutely.
get.
That was what that scene when he was on the phone. He looked right at her and said, "I love you," and they started laughing and walked away.
Yeah.
Purple aura.
Opie must die. That's what she says. Opie must die.
Right.
And then they just come into Greg. He's like, "Whoa, no!" And I don't think he really fully gets it at first.
No.
How far this is going to go. And it's only until we get to the eyes. As soon as he makes eye contact with her and they lock in and her face changes from amusement to almost kind of sadness.
Yeah.
Right? And then she's out, and then we're in the next morning, which is, so funny though.
I mean, the entire thing is messed up, but I will also say I volunteer as Opie.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I am not gonna lie. If I'm like, okay, so wait a minute, I get to bang Anna Paquin? Yes.
Yeah, but then he wakes up next to Fallujah or whatever her name is.
Fallujah.
You know, it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
I think I would muddle through somehow.
Yeah, I would hope.
What a cross to bear!
I would find a way to make it work. I would find a way to.
Oh, this is great too. I forgot about where he's holding her mouth.
Yeah.
And what did she say when he takes
coffee?
Then Fong Torres is
she didn't lose her train of thought.
This is fucking funny. He's like, "Look, man, we're both professionals here. We already have one Hunter S. Thompson."
Right. I shouldn't have to tell you that. Right. Well, because she answered the phone like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey, you got a sexy voice." She's like,
he's getting called out. He's like, "You're not there to party. You're there to write a story."
Right. We're professionals. I shouldn't have to tell you this. Right.
And so he tells him the thing. He's like, "Oh, I like what we're saying."
And I also thought this would bite him in the ass. I thought that one of the girls was going to say, and then like all of a sudden, Jason Lee's like, "Oh, so you think we're a middling band?"
Right.
You know, like,
right.
I was shocked that didn't come up.
Did at the end, did it not?
Well,
I mean, he kind of
wrote it
after they're calling for the confirmation stuff,
right? The fact checking and whatnot.
And this is funny. It's like, can
what
you take
am I to you?
He's like, "What am I to you?" And then the fucking next thing you see is him carrying back.
Right?
Yeah. My wife openly started laughing at that part. I was like, "This is the only part you laughed at?"
That was one of the girls he went to bed with last night, and she woke up in a different room.
Yeah, I thought that was. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, that's great.
Should have wrapped it, bro.
Yeah,
he's
for sure
seeing the dark side of the world that he worships.
Right.
Well, and Russell keeps blowing him off.
Loss of innocence.
I mean, he's there literally to get this interview, and he just keeps fucking blowing him off. And so Williams just like crushed at this point.
Well, and honestly, yeah, if you would have just given him the at any point in time, he could have been home weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like, I would be, and he starts crying right there. I don't blame the kid.
No, you actually see the kid again.
Yeah,
he can't handle it.
That's when it sunk in. Like, oh shit, he is 15. Yeah. Like this would be.
Well, you know, there might be an element in there of him like mourning the loss of his own innocence. But yeah, he was mourning the loss of his innocence. He realized that happened, and he can't take it back. And he's in love with this other person, but he lost his innocence to these other girls,
to these randos.
And I've seen a lot of videos. Bowie fans must have been like the hardcore ones must have been very insufferable.
Right. Was this the Ziggy times?
So
yeah,
there's something
throwing glitter.
Something minor right here that I wonder if it was a callback, because apparently Bowie's eye was messed up because somebody threw something on stage and hit him in the eye. And as he's going into the elevator right here, people are throwing things at him.
Oh, yeah, they're showering him in glitter. I'd be pissed.
His eye got messed up when he was a kid in post-war England.
Okay, I thought it was an on-stage thing, but I may have misinformed on that.
Now we just have general fuckery going on.
Yeah.
I hope I cut out the nude scene.
I hope he
Yes,
doesn't.
please do. That was really uncomfortable.
Wait. Hold up.
What? Scene? Wait, what?
Did it? It must have been quick. I missed it.
Boobies.
No. She had.
You didn't see the
Yeah, she was just in her coat with her panties on.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, okay, I saw that, but
she looks very young though. I guess she's underdeveloped. I don't know. So now William's on the phone again. This scene again is fucking funny because Russell thinks he's gonna be fucking hot shit with his mom. And he grabs the one. He's like, no. He's like, hey, this is Russell Hammond, guitarist for Stillwater. Why don't you come out here and join us? Blah blah blah. He's like, listen here, Mr. Hammond. I know what you're doing.
Notice
of
how
course he loves you.
Flips to yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is why you don't mess with a mom that actually cares,
right?
Because they will queue up.
Well, and it also reminds you, like, he's a kid too. Like, he's got to be like 21, 22 max.
Yeah, he's in his early 20s.
Yeah, and so like he still has that. Yeah, that's the perfect still of it right there. That's the change of dominance in this phone conversation.
Yeah, that that's when everything changes.
Plus, remember,
he is shooketh.
He's maybe been exposed to first wave feminism, maybe. He hasn't been exposed to all these other things, so he's had a traditional upbringing pretty much, to where you respected your parents, you respected your elders, and decided to talk to them, and you weren't just like, whatever, man, yo, skibbity toilet.
I mean,
You
even today, most people who are brought up in any kind of decent home, if they go out there and they'll act all big and showy and such, but as soon as like a parental figure comes after them, you'll see them kind of revert to the yes, ma'am.
There it is.
At least in the South. At least in the South.
Yeah.
She also has one of the better lines, I thought, in the movie.
Quote?
The quote, yeah.
Yeah. That's misattributed, right?
Yeah, I know. It's some Canadian dude or something.
Yeah, Basil
That
King.
really said it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, from The Conquest of Fear, 1921.
I mean, that's great right there, because you've got the previous frame. You've got him. He's on the phone with mom, and he is terrified. You've got her son in the background. He is nervous. And you've got her over there that's just finding everything funny.
Right.
Oh, I think she's just kind of still ogling over him, going like, "Oh, he's getting scared." Like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's amusing to her that he's kind of like being like demeaned.
I love it when we go to the hurdle, the little pre-play hurdle though, and Russell's still freaked out.
Yeah,
right. It's like, your mom really freaked me out, man. It's like
it's like, I know, man. She's my mom. I grew up with her. Like, what do you mean?
Said to him, the quote that she said to him, I think I got it right, is "Be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid."
Right.
It might have said "great and mighty forces will come to your aid" is what she might have said, but that's what, when I looked up the quote, that's what I got.
Yep. So, go at it boldly, and you'll find unexpected forces closing around you and coming to your aid. Conquest.
That's the original one from the Canadian dude. Yeah,
correct.
The one that she attributed to Gotha or whatever is the other paraphrased one.
Right. Yep. Be bold, and mighty forces will come to your aid.
For anybody listening, we are not nerds of any kind.
You shut your
whore mouth.
So they just had a hella show. He's
like
still trying to get his interview, and he's like, "No, I'll give it to you. The next place." And this is where Dick's like, "Hey, we got this dude here, Jimmy Fallon. I don't remember the name of the character. Who's actually a fucking manager, like a real manager. He's not small time like Dick. But they're like, they're used to him. So they're like, yeah, we'll just tell him to come in and tell him to fuck off." And
he's got some good lines too.
Look how
sleazy he looks. He looks like he should be in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas or something.
He looks like he's in Boogie Nights.
Yeah, he does totally, or Boogie Nights.
Knowing who this is now, I see it. In the time period, like the time wouldn't be correct.
Jimmy Fallon.
But he looks. I actually was thinking it was Justin Long. He would have been too young.
Oh, okay.
But he looks like Justin Long.
Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, that's Jimmy
Yes.
Fallon.
Jimmy
This is
Fallon.
the best that Jimmy Fallon has ever acted.
It
He
is,
still
and
has
this
that
is-
That's
shit
what,
eating
yeah,
grin on his
this
face.
is if the Empire said the same thing. She like, he's never done
This
anything
is-
better than this.
Because he didn't write it.
This is
Yeah.
the time that
No, but he's notoriously bad for fumbling his lines and smiling through here. And he smiles when he comes in, but then he starts to get serious. And I was like, holy shit, Jimmy Fallon's doing a good job. Like, wow.
He's
Yeah.
like, well,
Right?
he's like, because they're like, we already have a manager, and they're like, yeah, that's true, but your manager needs a manager.
Right.
If because you left the show and broke the gate, you negated your contract. Otherwise, we could have sued them for what happened.
Yeah,
And
he
you
goes
guys
in all the
owe more-
minutia. Like, do you know how to not have to pay for the ice under the floorboards of this place, or whatever?
Right.
That's
And he's like, I'm not here to. I'm not interviewing for you. You're interviewing for me. So I'm going to go sit
Right.
outside and decide if I want you.
Yeah. Very
Also-
powerful, actually. He turned
oh,
it
and
on
the
him.
plane. They
It
talk
worked.
about the plane here.
also
The
at this
plane is
time,
important. Because they're like, he's like, yeah, we got a plane and you can play more shows. You can make more money. They're like, yeah, we travel by bus. He's like, look, I would travel by fucking pogo stick if it would make more money.
Right.
But this is the way it is.
yeah, he's very pragmatic. Also, this is the time in Jimmy Fallon's life when Nicole Kidman, if you watch his show, she actually had an interest in him and tried to set up a meeting to see if like they had chemistry, and all he did was play video games for an hour and a half. So she thought he wasn't interested in Bounce.
Oh my
I
God.
mean, I'm
Yeah.
torn. On one hand, Nicole Kidman. On the other hand, kind of base.
Oh, he didn't know what it was. He thought he didn't know why she wanted to meet him, and of course she's a woman, so she's not going to tell him she liked him. He had to figure it out on his own.
Another thing too, as a rock front man, I pride myself in my collection of leather jackets, and like I've seen so many new styles that I that I need
You
to
want
like
to
track.
see a leather jacket collection? 1, 2, 3,
Oh.
4, 5, 7, 8. Right in my closet, right there.
Yeah, I'm at
not
about
taking it all
7.
out.
I got 2. I got punk rock
I-
metal
a lot of them are
jacket,
faux
and then I
leather.
have
I have
older from
scissors.
seasons 1 through 5 of X-Files.
I only have mini scissors. I don't think I can be in the club. They're really tiny.
Oh no,
No,
not
no,
the
no,
scissors.
You can.
It's not the
Stop,
size of the
don't do-
scissors.
don't
Not
do
the
mess
how you
size,
use it.
Courtney.
Right.
It's how
Cut my
you
hair.
use it.
It's exactly.
Yeah,
It's not
it
about the
doesn't matter how
size
big
of
the scissor is. It
Yeah.
matters how big the personality behind the scissors.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's no problem.
It's all about
Yeah,
technique.
in.
Come on, Courtney. Nice and slow.
Has anybody ridden on a tour bus before, by the way?
Hey, look, it's
They
Scott
suck.
Farkas.
Well, yeah. Sammy
Big-
has, and Dempsey has, right?
Yeah.
Ridden on a tour bus.
They're awful.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
It's
no,
either
that's
too
what I
much.
was explaining. I was like, those are by far the most like glamorized parts in this entire movie. A lot of this feels authentic.
Yeah.
The tour bus parts definitely aren't.
Yeah, I have to
Right.
think,
I was
having
even
not
with, like, a
experienced it
rock band,
myself,
too.
that a tour bus is the only thing that would drive wedges between people more than Monopoly.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure. and you know what? You might actually find yourself playing Monopoly on a tour bus. That's a good
Yeah.
way to. That's a good way to get killed.
I was about to say that's
Exactly.
how somebody dies.
All right.
Go to the bathroom
I mean,
on
I
tour
would say
bus,
the
like, so many things.
closest I've ever been to quote unquote tour bus, like because I was in a lot of church bands and stuff. 15 passenger van for 12 hours.
I mean,
Yeah, we did that in
that's
high
you're
school.
getting there, but like
Yeah.
you need to lengthen the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I went all over Europe for 2 months on one of those buses, and we had hotels at night, but like the driving parts were just like unbearable.
Right.
Thank you. We hear you. Sorry.
And that's if you have like a designated driver. Like me and my guys, we would have to take shifts,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then
We had definitely that taken
maybe
care of.
like maybe a couple days into it, one of your guys
Right.
he isn't feeling that good, and he wants to like pawn his shift off on somebody, and then if someone says yes, that changes the whole politics of the bus. There's a lot of shit that goes into it because it was like, because when you say, "Hey, I don't want to do it," and they're like, "No, you have to take your shift," and it was like, "Well, what about so and so? He just didn't fucking take his shift." You know what I mean? It was like anything is me and Shield were talking about this when we were reviewing Shogun a little bit ago. It was like one of the reasons that the Japanese are always like bowing and very overly polite to one another is because it can go from 0 to like hyper violence in the drop of a hat. That is the same, like that's the same aura that the tour bus is giving out if you're a couple weeks in.
Totally.
And about the weirdest little tiny things too.
Oh my God.
Well, it doesn't take much. If you're in tight quarters with anybody for any amount of time,
for sure,
which God knows in the military you are, it doesn't take much for people to get on your fucking nerves. And then things explode rapidly. Like if the Johnny Cash CD is not in the morning when you come in the office, if the coffee isn't made, whoever that guy is, he's getting fucked that morning.
Yeah,
unrelated. I'm
well,
just
you
gonna
also
start
get that
tapping
thing
my
with a big group of
drumsticks till
people,
y'all get annoyed.
like people not being on time, and just all of that, like you were talking about before.
You didn't have that much. You didn't have that problem in the military.
That's
that got handled.
No, well, my drummer is notoriously late for fucking everything. Like everything.
Oh my gosh, I do not miss that about drummers, by the way.
No, the drummers are fucking flaky.
Always the drummers.
When I like
it's always
we're late for appointments and we rush the tempo. That's what we're known for.
And how do you
I can't imagine how it is. How is it on the International Space Station?
How do you get
There's also the joke, but there's also the pop.
How do you get a drummer to stop playing? You put sheet music in front of him.
Oh no, I heard that. I heard that same joke, but it's for guitar players. It's like how do you get the same thing for bass players? Yeah, how do you get the bass player to leave?
Yeah,
you pay him for the pizza. What does this stripper do with her asshole before she goes to work?
Wait, what was the bass player one? I didn't hear that. I'm a bass player.
How do you get a bass player to leave? You pay him for the pizza. What does the stripper do with her asshole before she goes to work? She drops him off at band practice.
Oh, that's funny.
There's also what do you call a drummer with no girlfriend?
Homeless.
Homeless. Yeah, I've heard that.
I feel personally attacked
so here we are
now.
at the notorious
music college. I'm allowed to make fun of
drummer, so I feel doubly insulted. Excuse you.
Sorry, Roman. Continue.
Sorry.
Yeah, we got 30 minutes. We got to finish this movie up in 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's Brampton and Hedberg right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's
There's Mitch
Farkas.
I just pointed at the screen.
Yeah. Red Dog is Farkas,
right?
Which is crazy. So this is the poker game that's been going on for years and years and years. But this is getting towards the end of the tour, and they're going to New York, and they can't have the Band-Aids with them because this is when the wives and the girlfriends are showing up. So Dick offers them up as part of the bet in the poker game, and they lose the bet. And William just is like, what the fuck? And this is Russell realizes this may have been a misstep, though. He's like, hey, no one wants it to be over. No one's getting their feelings hurt.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, but why are you looking at me like that? Because you're a dick. So this scene is extended again. This is part of in the extended version, you get a lot more of this. Penny doesn't fully understand. She's like, you don't know what he says to me in private, blah, blah, blah. I know I'm not supposed to go to New York. He's got that girlfriend's name I can't say.
Yeah.
And he's like, and she says something that pisses him off here. That you're too sweet for rock and roll.
Right.
He's like, where do you get off? And then he unloads on her, though, and he doesn't mean to, but he does. And he's like, he bet he lost you for a case of beer and $50 to whatever the other band was.
This is powerful.
Was it Deep Purple?
Oh, it was Humble Pie.
Humble Pie.
Right.
Yeah, the other girl is with Deep Purple. She talks about it later.
Yeah, but what we're seeing here is
Herpexia or whatever her name is.
She obviously actually does have some feelings.
Yes.
For him, and he obviously has some feelings for her. So that's kind of so we've got this kind of like three-way kind of love triangle thing going on. So she's actually hurt by it, whereas the other girls, they don't really care. They're just in it to go. They're in to sleep with band members.
Right.
Yeah, this is where she's brushing off the tears, and she's like, "What kind
of beer?" Right.
She plays off the joke, but she's clearly hurt.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also found out, you were talking about with this, they're just to sleep with band members. That this movie was based on the book Groupie by Pamela DeBar, which I've actually read before.
Oh, nice.
But they're band-aids, so I just thought I'd throw that.
Right, band-aids.
Somebody
Right.
way early in the chat asked if your mom knew who that person was.
I did. That was me because she
that's her asking man.
Oh, okay. Oh,
sorry. Yeah, because somebody
Oh.
else said that their mom was that type of person. I said, did she know Pamela
Yeah.
the Bar? Because she was a group that was like a big time.
Yeah. Most likely I'd have to ask her. Like when I was younger, I didn't pay attention. She's like, yeah, I traveled with this band and this band and this band. And me being young, I'm just like, oh, whatever, mom. Sure.
Right.
But yeah, like she was very offended that I ever said groupie. She's like, no. I traveled with
Oh God.
I was like, sure, mom.
Thanks to the
sure.
band. Thanks to the band.
Yup. She's like, yeah, I've got these autographs, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you do, mom. I'm sure you did not have to get on your knees for that autograph.
So we showed you America, William. We did everything but get you laid. Silence.
Yeah.
Everybody looks at him. Literally everybody looks at him.
Looking at him.
Everybody's
This
like,
is exactly how it would go too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, really?
It's an hour in New York. This is where things really start kind of unraveling pretty quickly. That's the ex-wife, girlfriend of Russell. She's a treat. I don't like her through any of the movie.
Yeah, she ends up being a bad person too.
She's horrible. She's
They're
pretty
all
horrible.
terrible. All these people are
Yeah,
terrible
pretty much
except
everybody
him.
is horrible.
He's got the Rain song on his shirt.
Right, and then there's a
Isn't he
hiccup
in
in the
Freaks and
story
Geeks?
again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was he? I don't know. That's a good
Yeah,
was on
that's
Freaks and
the kid.
Yeah.
Who played him.
Yeah, he's in that Seth Rogen group where he could just kind of
Right.
shows up in all
He
of his
wasn't in
movies.
Superbad, was he?
I believe he was. But I can't say for
But he's
sure.
not
because he-
McLovin or whatever.
Yeah, that's
No,
not
but
side
he-
character.
yeah, he's one of those side guys, but yeah, he definitely shows up. He's definitely in Knocked Up, and just yeah, I never remember his name, so I just call him Fish Face.
Acceptable. So
Man,
he's kind of rattling off everything, and he lets William know that Penny is there in New York, and he's like, "Oh fuck." He says it nicer, but that's what he says. Are you William Miller? There's an important call. This is when Jan, what's his fuck from Rolling Stone, says, "You guys are going to be on the cover. You can tell the band." But yeah, this is funny though. He's like, "I need you to send me everything you have." There's a Mojo down at wherever the fuck is that Mojo. It's like it's an amazing machine that allows you to transmit a page over the phone. It only takes 18 minutes a page.
Yeah, that was big news back then.
Yeah,
man.
no, that was kind of
was-
weird because they already had stuff like that in like the 50s. I guess maybe it was only for the military though, or
It was probably so it's
Right.
probably a lot more specialized,
Right.
not the everyman tech. And
Right,
this
not
William's
quite
trying to
a
tell
fax.
them they won't shut up. He's like together this loud. He's like, "Hey guys, you're gonna be on the cover."
Everybody stops.
And they all stop. They
Right.
start singing. And then fuck off. There's Penny. She looks very beautiful here.
Mhm.
Yes, she
Very pulled
does.
together.
She has.
Yeah.
Just
She has
here?
the entire film.
What are you?
I think she's
blind?
always
Well,
And then
beautiful.
Pam.
She
Yeah.
looks really pulled together here, though.
Yeah.
Let's.
She got
it's
made.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the eye contact with the lady. And
It's funny you
this
said
is funny though. Go ahead.
I think it's funny that you put it like that. That she looks very well put together, where it's actually just the veneer of her character. She's wrecked inside right now. She's the exact opposite of that, but she always
Yes.
shows the strong face, and it's just really apparent in this scene and the next one.
And it's also apparent that
Oh, yeah.
both of them know what's up.
Right.
Like she's looking
This
at
is
her
right.
like,
He's like,
Agreed.
"Who's that girl? Who is she with?"
Right.
And everybody but Russell says, "Oh, she's with me."
Right.
And then that's when-
then their manager kicks her out.
Then it
right?
just dissolves, and then
Right.
the looks. This is because you have no idea what Russell's saying.
Wow.
But her look changes from smiling, laughing with Russell to this. And then the hand, and then tears, and then this. I like this
Poor
because
girl.
Russell stands up because he wants to go, but he knows he can't do anything. And
Right.
he looks to William, and William does the thing that he can't do.
Right.
He can go try to. And this is that fucking face right there drives me insane.
Oh yeah.
That
Makes me
fucking
wanna kick her.
satisfied fucking.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
it-
See,
it-
If somebody wants to hold her down, I'll kick her teeth in.
You say he stands up and goes to do something that he knows that somebody else can't do. I say he stands up and goes to do what nobody else is willing to.
Yeah.
I mean, because even if Russell isn't going to stand up and do that, none of his other bandmates stand up for him and go handle that situation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and
also
Russell
you can tell
knows
that he wants to. Like he does have feelings for her.
Which we get later. Oh,
I love that part.
He's just like I did that on purpose.
Right. It was very needed, actually, because everything was coming to
you needed
to
a little
boil,
bit of break.
you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It was real quick. Just in and out.
Oh yes, this is the part where I had to explain to my wife what Quaaludes were.
Oh yeah.
Everybody left.
They still exist.
Even Sapphire, but she left her Quaaludes.
Right. If I understand that decade properly, those were like vitamins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he just calls down to the office. He's like, my wife's got a problem with Quaaludes.
So
throw
the
it out there.
juxtaposition of these scenes is interesting. William is trying to save her. His poor mother is at his graduation ceremony, which he is not at.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the principal kind of like loses his composure here. Also, isn't he the judge in A Few Good Men?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
he's the military judge.
Yeah, you will address this court as Your Honor, and I know that I have earned it. That guy. But he says something like pending graduate. It was like you wouldn't just say that. You would say like not present. It was like don't throw shade on this kid.
Right.
I don't know. Different times, but I mean, I even at my ceremony, I knew kids who like didn't graduate and they still got to like walk and get like a fake diploma.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, really? but he's simply not fucking there. He can't even do that.
Right.
He's not he's just not there. He missed a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is all the stuff he promised his mom he wouldn't before he left.
Every single thing.
Yep.
And I'm about to boldly go where many have gone before. He gets his kiss in.
Yeah.
And then the doc comes in. He throws a fake name, and then they go and they pump her stomach.
And
which,
look,
by the way, he's wearing a Cosby sweater. Did they have those in the 70s?
That's a good. He does. There's a Cosby sweater. You're entirely right with that.
Oh my god!
He's
just yakking away. And this is where we get her real name.
Song. When she's like all yakking and like all messed up and dying,
that was
playing
rough.
this beautiful song.
Yeah, the song is the way that William sees her, regardless of what's going on.
Yes,
right. She's puking up and disgusting, and all he's looking at is her feet and legs.
Right,
my man.
And having never done Quaaludes that they don't exist anymore, because they gave her a false name. So like she's really screwed up here. Having someone like sticking a tube down your throat and constantly yelling a name
Emily,
that isn't yours.
Emily.
Yeah, Emily. Right. I was like, I feel like that's just like worst case scenario, right? Like
what weirded me out is there's no ambulance. It's just like a doctor with a doctor's bag.
Those were different times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, they would have that. I can't remember what story I was reading, but a lot of those hotels would have those because they always wanted to keep incidents like that out of the newspaper because it would reflect poorly on the reputation of the hotel.
Oh,
so
like rock stars
they would have doctors who were either in the area or they would just like comp rooms to if they knew that like big like party bands were in the hotel simply just to save face.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking plane scene.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Yes.
So well done.
All around best acting in the whole film.
The framing, the exchanges that go on here. Because they're all kind of hanging out. It's fairly innocuous. They want to know, hey, where'd you go last night? And he's like, I just had something I had to do. And he's like, yeah, we had Bob Dylan at the table for like an hour. And then things start going rattling real quick. Then fucking Russell's a complete asshole here because it's not that far removed. And he starts singing fucking Peggy Sue. Yeah. Peggy Sue. He sings laughing.
Wow.
Everybody's starting to get real nervous because the engines start making this fucked up noise.
It had been about 15 years.
Okay, but that's like saying Macbeth backstage, right? Like,
Right.
you just probably
Yeah.
don't reference,
Mhm.
or even making like a Skinner reference. I know that was
Yes.
probably later on in the decade, but
It was only like 3-4 years after. No,
yeah, it'd be
5,
like 6
5?
or 7, probably.
Yeah. What was
I
it?
like
77?
that this pilot jumps back. He's like, I know everything's gonna be fine. He gets back to the seat and he's like, I'm trying to fucking. He starts panicking, turns around, realizes the door's still open,
The door's
shuts
still
it.
open,
Yeah.
yeah. He's not even gonna land in a
You hear
field.
me
He's
in
like,
the middle of the
everywhere.
Our Father.
Right.
You know, and as far as movie production goes, I also appreciate that they, it at least looks like that they had the set on some sort of movable
something that's moving.
base.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Because it is really difficult to get like 6 people to move all in one direction at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
this
is
wasn't
almost
shaky
shocked
cam.
reactions when it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They probably just had a bunch of best boys underneath the stage,
Or
like
take a-
And I love everyone's doing their admissions here though, and it's fucking hilarious.
Right.
It's like, I just want you guys to know that I always love all of you. If I kept an extra dollar or two, it's because I knew I really earned
Right.
it.
Right. Crooked
It's
man.
like,
dude.
the one guy admits that like
I
he
didn't hit
slept
the road.
with Russell's wife.
Oh, yeah, no, that's Jason
Jeff
Lee.
does.
Yeah, Jason
Yeah,
Lee.
just like I slept with Leslie.
And yet, among all of this, Russell can't admit that he has cheated on his wife / girlfriend. Whoever
Jeff
she
No,
is.
he gets
He's like,
indignant.
"You
He gets
slept with
indignant
that
about this.
fucking groupie."
Yeah.
But so his wife does say though, like last summer you said we were gonna like take a break in a relationship, so that's
Yeah.
what
That doesn't
happened.
count.
So so it doesn't count in
Right.
her mind. Yeah.
Right.
Well, then you got the
On
drummer,
a
too.
break.
Well, and doesn't
the drummer,
Jason Lee say something like, "I still love you, Leslie," and she's like,
Yeah, I still
"Shut
like-
up."
Shut up, Jeffrey. And he's like,
Also, Dick's ex-girlfriend like banged the entire band after they
everybody in
broke
the
up.
band, she's like,
Yeah.
I said,
Right.
and the bass player's like, or the other guitarist like, yeah, I waited till you broke up, and I slept with her too.
Oh yeah, all the other guys were like, "Yeah, dude, sorry, I slept with her." And then the one guy was like, "Well, I at least waited till she broke up with
She
her."
broke up.
Well,
And
not
then
the whole
here's the
band.
best part though.
I'm guessing she didn't bang the drummer.
I'm gay. And then
Right.
everything
Clip that.
stabilizes.
Clip it.
We're
Clip
gonna
it.
live. We're gonna live. And he looks fuck. He just looks so
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't tell by the wig he's wearing, but then this thing where they're all
well,
walking
it was
down
one
the
of the
hallway,
70s,
Clip it.
it was
and this is a
different.
really long hallway with no doors in it. Like,
Yeah.
It's very terrifying, actually.
Yeah, no, that felt very Kubrickian right there.
It did.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, to
Kubrick,
walk down the
totally.
hallway.
Yeah,
Well,
It's
it's
not
I
the-
mean,
it's-
I think
It reminds me of just like a mental hospital I can never get out of. Or something.
yeah, it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
the fact that it has no
I-
doors.
there's
Well,
nothing.
I
it's
think it
just
all-
long
It's gotta be
also-
symbolic.
over Tupelo.
Well, I think it looks like, even though they're all together, I mean, the way the shot is, they're all separated long ways.
Right.
So you
Right.
you got all this, you got this group, but they're all alone. Each of them is alone in their own little
Right.
in their own thought process.
Right.
And
And
this
there's
is-
nowhere
That's a
for
good
them to
point, yeah.
escape. They
Of
just
his
have to go
relationship.
down this hallway. There's no way
Yeah.
out.
And that's where William knows that it's over. As soon as he gets to the end of it, he knows that his journey with them is done.
Write
I
what you
do
want.
like when he turns back. He's like, "Write whatever you want,"
Right.
but he doesn't mean it. The piece of shit.
Of
No,
course.
Yeah.
Well, he gets talked out of it
He's a
by
total
his
like
manager.
he's a total narcissist.
That's no, yeah,
like,
that's
head
true.
ganger.
They all kind of.
oh
They talked him
baby.
out of it.
Now Ben
that
Fong Torres
jerk.
knows he's working with a child.
Yeah, and then he gets
The
excited.
lady
That's
in this
weird.
office, the fact checker, is a fucking nightmare.
Oh my
she is
gosh,
a
right.
horrible person.
Insufferable.
Which means
Oh.
she's probably a great actress because she made you feel that much about her role. That's tiny little.
Yeah,
role that she
this
has.
tiny
Right.
role. She's in the movie for
Right.
like a minute, and you fucking hate her.
Yeah, but
Like
I
Steve
like how
Jobs.
the journalist scene has evolved, where it's like, what if we were all her?
Mhm.
Right. When he's walking in and all those people are just staring at him. Yeah.
So he
It's
calls
just a bunch of
Lester,
those
and
people.
Lester's like, I mean, he goes back to his original statement: be truthful and unmerciful.
Right.
I like this though. He's like, I've met you, dude. You're not cool. They wanted, they made you feel cool. And that's why you like them. He's like, I'm really glad you were home. He's like, I'm uncool. I'm always home.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You're his only
Yeah,
friend.
and I can say as a lifelong uncool person, it is totally okay to be uncool.
Yeah, I'd rather be uncool than cool because the cool people have like nothing after a while.
They don't have to work for anything.
Speak for yourself. I am cool as shit. So I'm just saying.
To a point, I get what you're saying. At a certain point, not
I
being
used to
cool
be
becomes
cool.
really hard to be around. You're like, oh my
Mhm.
god, oh my god, you didn't do that, did you? Yeah. So I get both sides.
Tupelo, Mississippi.
There's a spectrum of not cool.
All about
right.
Well, if you're not cool, if you're one of those people that like tells on people and you're just like whatever.
I don't consider a snitch a person. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't either. I was talking
Snitches get stitches. So this is where everybody's getting their phone calls from Rolling Stone, and the chicks are cool. I sound like a dick. You are a dick.
Yeah.
Right. You literally said that verbatim. Yeah.
And she has you on top of a roof. It's saying, I'm a golden god. I never
say
said that. Or did I?
Did I say that?
This sucks. Poor William gets his fucking shit pushed in here.
Yeah, he does.
Because the friendly lady comes back and she's like, it's all a lie. It's all made up.
Yeah, the person that he most trusted in is the person who turned on him.
Did you talk to Russell Hammond? And she's like, he's the one who denied it. And he's just left by himself. It was terrible. This is another great scene, though. Little tiny scene. Anita's walking through. William? It's my brother.
She pulls out.
I really like what she says here.
Sings him a quirky little song to cheer him up.
I love her.
No, I really like this because, like, she's working, and she says, "I'll deadhead," which is airline slang for you just catching a ride to your next location as an airline employee. Because she says something like, "I believe I'm needed now." Yeah, and that is a really good line.
Right, without him having to say anything.
He didn't say a fucking thing. He didn't say anything. This whole scene.
Like, as the oldest of my siblings, I felt that. It's like sometimes you just know I need to stop what I'm doing and be there for my little brother.
Yep. And as the youngest of
that
mine, I felt that scene from the opposite side. So
Did you respect your older siblings? Because
what I found interesting about this is that she actually went and did what she said she was going to do. She became a stewardess. She is a stewardess. She's not. She didn't. Like that guy didn't smack her around and dump her off in San Diego somewhere.
This look that Anita has right now is my middle daughter. Exactly, my middle daughter.
That's funny.
All the time.
Nice. Yeah. This
It's
is
hilarious.
the exact opposite of what everybody expected because she did what she said she was going to do, and he didn't.
Well,
and they come back here.
It was like, she said, hey, she thought like, hey, I could fly you to anywhere you want to go. Yep. She has no idea that he's just been all over the fucking country. Yeah. So like all he wants to do is go home, and like, she's a good big sister. She honors that. And I have to say, I truly, truly love the exchange between her and the mom.
Yeah.
I forgive you.
This
I
is
didn't apologize.
Straight up. It's straight up a prodigal son type stuff. And
that's great.
I won't get into it. I've got some stuff in my own family where going on it's problematic, but seeing that kind of hit home, and I love it.
No, they get good emotion out of not a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a credit to both the actors and the writing, because the writing is pretty, like I said, William has no speaking part in that. And even when he gets home, he doesn't say anything when he gets home. He just kind of goes into the house. And then his mother starts, doting over, sort of in her own way, over Anita being home. And I love it when he walks in his room and he just licks his bed. He's like, oh, and crashes.
Because that's all he's wanted. He's just wanted to go home
for a long time. This is where Russell gets talking to by Sapphire. Because I said, so what about Penny? She's like, what do you care? We all know what, we all know what you did to him. Talking about William.
Mm-hmm.
and even Penny Lane. But she does make a good joke about the new girls. None
Yeah.
of them use birth control, and they eat all the steak. It's just funny. The new girls. And then he calls her here, and this is an interesting scene. Because he lies to her immediately. The first thing he does is fucking lie to her. He's like, yeah, I'm in a room full of people now. And then he stops himself. He catches himself. He's like, no, I'm actually alone. Because he wants to see her again. He must be in San Diego. Right. Can I have your address? Let's say all the things that we didn't say. He has a line here, though, that is super fucking narcissistic that made me not like him again, though. He's like, I never see myself as good as the way you look at me. And that line irritated me. I mean, I get it. He wants to be that person, but I don't know. It bugged me. It just did. For whatever reason. It did. It just stuck with me, maybe in more of a negative way than it probably should have. But and
Agreed.
She's like, yeah, do you have a pen?
Yeah.
I love this. She put him right in the spot that he needed to be to actually talk to the person that he needed to talk to, which wasn't her.
Right. People that William needed to talk to. Everybody keeps getting tricked into going to this place.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Amazing.
Wait, where am I? He's like, first thing he says, is she here? And she's like, Anita?
Like, hi.
It's like, where am I? I think you'd remember my voice.
Yeah, when I talked to you on the phone, I knew there was hope for you. Then he sees the pictures. He's like, oh, I got it. There's hope for you. Right? Yeah,
go back a frame. Go back a frame. Go back a couple frames. One more. That look right there. No. The mom look right there. You fuck with my kid.
Oh yeah.
I will end you.
Mm-hmm.
I will end you.
That's a mama lion look right there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that's a yes, ma'am look.
That's how you receive the mama lion look.
Yes, I believe you will. I believe you will end me.
Poor William. He's like, wait, what?
Right. Like, oh no. I thought I got away from these
See,
people.
and I'm not convinced that when he walked in that room, he knew exactly kind of like the situation he was walking into, what he was going to say. But he starts looking around that you saw in that first frame or two, where he's like, oh yeah, I have to remember this guy is actually a fan. Like, he truly loves the music. And then that's kind of like when things change for him, I think.
Yep.
Is that Abraham Lincoln?
It is Abraham Lincoln, yes. Looking over the bed at him, that is Abraham Lincoln.
The first
and this is where Russell's like, for what it's worth, I called your magazine and told them every word was true.
Mm-hmm.
And William's like, we're gonna do this one more time. Though Russell does try to get him to get Penny Lane over there. It's like, you should call her. You live in the same town.
I thought he meant that.
I thought he was saying, hey, you should, you're a good person. You should be with her. I
don't know what his intent was.
Right. That was the way I took it.
Yeah. I didn't take it as mildly selfish. I didn't take it that he wanted to get back with her. Is that he is finally resolved, like, this is my place. You two are better for each other. That's kind of how
he does deliver the line. We both wanted to be with her, but she wanted us to be together in a non-sexual way for the weirdos out there. I know
the least perverted relationship in this whole thing.
He's like, to begin with, he's like, so what do you love about music? And so he delivers a line here, which doesn't have a lot of context unless you do some reading. He says, to begin with, everything. To begin with was the name of Stillwater's first album. Like I said, that it takes some digging to get that, and it doesn't really change the context.
Even if you don't know it, just this ending where he finally sits down, and not only does he sit down to answer the question, he leans into that microphone.
Yes, yes, he's now fully fucking engaged. Finally,
yeah, he's like, I'm going to tell you everything, and just goes with it.
No more
because because I believe at that moment he's no longer a rock star. It's just two guys talking.
Right.
At that point.
Right.
Yeah,
Agreed.
he's
when you're out on
taking
the
his
road,
ego out of the equation.
Right. And if you've ever tried to talk to a musician off the books when there's nobody else around, they will talk your ears off. And I know that because I'm one of the people who does that.
Oh, see, I won't.
I'm gonna get the musicians together. We're gonna do a weird show at some point, just because I think we need to do that for those that have done the bit, because it is a whole different experience. Everybody has their funny and fucked up stage stories and all the stuff. And then they get on the cover.
I can tell you about the time the printer didn't print out the music sheets, and we just had to go and just do our best.
What are music sheets?
Just in general,
our chord chart.
What's a chord chart, Mando?
I love this. I love this ending because is it not just like bro code where you fight and you argue and then you sit down at the end and be like, I was kind of a dick. And then your bros, I was kind of a dick too. Yeah, but you are a dick. It's like, so you are too.
I was usually the girl that was like mediating pretty much.
Can we also comment the No More Planes tour?
Yeah, that's pretty
yeah.
Yeah, last scene is her grabbing her glasses as she's on her way to Morocco. There goes Russell, and that's it.
Photos on the way out.
I don't know if Morocco was a really good choice for a single blonde woman.
Probably not. A little sketchy. That part of the world is later. Always has been.
Famous Band-Aid found dead in Morocco.
Right.
So, this for me is one of the best kind of one. It just is a period piece, but as a rock movie, I not from like a fucking documentary standpoint, but a semi-fictionalized account of the era and just every part of this. Like I said, and it's a coming of age film thrown into that hot mix because that's what it was for Cameron Crowe. I love this movie so much. I mean, this is just top tier stuff for me. It's hard to find its peer in this type of genre. I mean, there are other movies like Rockstar, which I think is a very good movie as well. Very different, not nearly as. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. But it's not. But it's not the same caliber of film that this is. It's a fun movie.
Like a different type of film. It's a different type of film.
This movie, you really feel the characters.
Yeah, because even if you've never been in the business, you can see yourself in a lot of different parts of this, or see people you know in different parts of this, which I think is why it's so relatable, which is what makes it such a fucking great movie. And we quote this fucking movie in my house all the time. Which isn't surprising because we quote a lot of fucking movies in my house all the time because we're fucking weird. So
you quote Elf.
That's normal to me.
we yes we quote Elf. We quote The Young Frankenstein is probably the most quoted film in the house. So anyway, I need to wrap things up. But thank you so much to the panel. Again, we got to throw together a very special panel for this, which I'm grateful for it. And I think you guys are all fantastic. So this was a lot of fun to do. And thank you to the chat as always for throwing in both informative and wildly inappropriate comments. And if you're watching the show afterwards, thank you too. And again, remember, please like the show and sub if you are so inclined. We do appreciate it here at Of the Empire, and to my good friends who are simulcasting the show on their channels. So we'll go around the horn real fast. When I say real fast, I mean real fucking fast, because Mrs. of the Empire is about to set me on fire because I'm running late. So let's say what we got and then jump on out of this fire. Shield Wall, what do you have coming up, my friend?
Hey, thanks for having me on. Something on Jake and Byronside's channel on Tuesday of next week, and then whatever we're doing on Thursday. And also maybe if Zach has his show on Wednesday, I'll be on that to talk about Shogun. It's just a great show. Yeah, it's a great show. Recommend it. All right, thanks. Later.
Right on.
Dude. It's nice working with you again.
What do you got? Yes.
Thanks. Thanks for having.
It's a Joy Division shirt. Sorry,
that's
your shirt.
Thanks for having. Thanks for having me on. This was really a great panel to be on because I got to kind of just sit back and let all you guys who have been in this biz, who have been in this experience, just kind of, and I can just go through your journey now with you guys, and it was great. Tomorrow night, simulcasting from Friday night's Royal Rumble, talking about the week in pop culture. Next week on Monday, starting House of the Dragon episode 1 review. Wednesday we'll be going over the week before WrestleMania, talking with Ryan Legion and Left Eye Ego. We'll be talking about that, expectations and whatnot. Possibly here next week for the Medal of the 2000s next week, which is gonna be a lot of fun. And then Friday again for Friday night's Royal Rumble. So yeah, I am one sub away from 600, and I am less than 800, and I am less than 800 hours from getting monetized.
Tick, right on, dude.
It's up to you.
You deserve it, folks.
And
I was subscribe, watch.
Oh, nice.
What is that, Courtney? I'm not going to blow you up
Japanese.
again.
It's a Japanese version of the Joy's Team.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
wow.
We're banned because it's Japanese.
Very cool.
Yeah,
now I just got
cool.
That's funny.
Courtney doesn't know my war with the Japanese.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, they copyright strike me every chance they get for it's fine.
Shoot.
They're not going to hit me for that. It's not anime, so we'll be fine.
It's in my made up language.
There you go.
Mando, the only person who knows how to play music and read music on this panel.
Excuse me. I went to Berkeley
Can you
College
read?
of Music.
I was gonna say.
You can read music,
okay.
Courtney?
Yeah.
I can't read a fucking note.
I can play every instrument and read music. I was a music teacher. Don't.
Okay,
She's
my
better
bad,
than
my
I
bad.
am. I can kind of read it if I look at it long enough. I'm like, I know what that means. I can kind of go with that. Okay, here we go.
I write my notes very literally A, B, C.
Right.
Oh, you don't write them like on the staff. I get you.
I could still do the
Yeah,
timing,
that's a
but I couldn't tell you like the chords if you threw traditional.
Oh, okay, yeah, because like
read
we
it,
do
but I
chord
can't
charts,
read it
like
and
most of
play
the.
Yeah,
we
I
do
still
chord
remember
charts,
like
we'll just
every
do the
good
lyrics and we'll put the chord above the
Yeah.
lines and stuff.
like
No,
every
I
good
made
boy
a note
does
about
fine.
the words.
All cars eat gas.
I don't want to call you
Mando.
out, but Mrs. of the Empire is holding a gun to this man's head.
Yeah, sorry.
I can hear the fire starting now.
Right.
So, Mando, what do you got coming up?
Every good boy
This
does
Saturday, I will be on my friend Nadia's channel, Inside All Day Gaming, playing some D&D. We're gonna be rolling the dice. And then hopefully I don't get a nat one and yeet my character off the face of the world.
There's a possibility.
I will, and then I will probably Jacob. I think I'm on Jacob's channel this Tuesday, because I think it's X-Files, right? Beard, if I remember correctly, as he's talking, of course.
I think so.
X-Files,
Okay.
episode 6 and 7.
Oh,
And then this next week, I will be streaming on my Twitch and Kick channel periodically, and then I should be back here Thursday.
Right on. Dempsey, what do you got coming up, buddy? Thank you for being here.
Oh, no problem, man. Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. I love this movie, and I love the extended cut that I saw. It was just amazing to me. So this was a really good experience. But yeah, I have nothing coming up besides my normal stuff, which is I do reality-based music with Ryan Roger Athay on Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then we do, I've got Against the Stream coming out where I'm working with my buddy Jim, who's also a regular on reality-based music, and my son and a couple other people. So that should be coming out within the next year or so, something like that. We're going to take our time with it and really tweak it out,
Dempsey.
Right on. That sounds like my drummer coming to practice. It'll be within a year or so. So, and I'm going to hit you up probably in the DMs to talk about it maybe next week if you're available. So, Sammy, what do you have, sir?
All right. I actually have a jam-packed week coming up, but tomorrow I'm going to be on Abomination AJ's show. We're reviewing the
awesome
Last Airbender episode 6.
Nice.
And then Saturday I'm going to be on Jacob Ironside's show for like the monthly wrap up. And then Monday I will be on Cannoli Squatch's channel with we'll be reviewing Godzilla 1998, which I can't wait to.
Sweet. Not as good, unfortunate.
I can't wait.
Yeah, but Cannolis are fun though, so
to dump on that.
Yeah.
And then
that'll be good.
I have a couple more things coming up at the whatever we're doing on Thursdays. That's just free range.
It's gonna be music free range. We're gonna be talking about.
I just tell people I'm gonna be Roman of the Empire's channel for whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh yes,
that's how I advertise it.
And then Tuesday I will be reviewing Scavenger's Reign on Gooch's channel. And then I will be with Nadia and Mrs. Squatch on Friday for their feminine I can't remember the name of the show.
Female perspective.
Female perspective. Female perspective.
What are we called? You know,
which obviously you can tell I'm gonna fit right in with the ladies.
Clearly.
But other than that, yeah, no, just find me here, and it's Sammy 3-Pete across the board on most channels, and
all the things.
Gmail, Outlook.
Poor Sammy. Jesus. Right on, dude.
I'm sorry. I'm tired.
Done. Beard of Liberty. What do you have coming up, my friend?
Let's see. I think the next couple things I've got is Monday night for After the Weekend. We'll be going over the I have to do this for Joker. We'll be going over revisiting the pilot the pilot episode for Miami Vice.
Oh,
and
nice.
And then
yes, Jacob, got it. Cool.
Then I should also be on Jacob's show on Tuesday after that. For anything else that happens, because sometimes it's very last minute, people can follow me on Twix at Beard of Liberty, and things will be announced there.
Right on. And again, a special guest, first time on the show, and I'm so happy we were able to get you over, and particularly for this film. It's Courtney. Thank you for being with us.
Wow.
So we're so happy to have you over. And
next time, bring scissors.
It's good because my earphones are about to die. Oh, I have scissors. Little ones. Tiny.
Now look what you've done, people. You stuck in this bad, sick world.
You can find me on my channel.
One of these days, Shield Wall also turn on his camera and do scissors.
I'll just turn his picture into a scissor.
Yeah, exactly. Because I need to own a camera first.
It'll be like the final episode of Home Improvement when Wilson shows his face.
Courtney, what do you have coming up?
I have my channel, which I'm going to start doing more I am more of a show again. Like I used to have a show, but now I'm just doing chill streams and stuff like that. But you can find me by just my tag is it's Courtney 218. That's the easiest way to do it. You put that in YouTube, Discord, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere. But I'm also this coming Monday and every Monday I'm on with it's that 70s rock band who we had earlier, Brian, and he's doing a really cool tribute this Monday, a tribute to Cozy Powell. And we're going to have, and Cozy Powell was an infamous drummer. He drummed for, I think, Jeff Beck, Rainbow, Whitesnake, Black Sabbath, I think. I could be wrong on a little bit, but they have his legendary road managers, Willie Fife and Colin Hart, and they're also going to have Graham Bonnet on there as a guest. That's supposed to be a huge one that we've been kind of looking forward to, yeah. And so every Monday I'm there at 5:00 p.m. Eastern, and then every Sunday night I'm on Mark D with the C's channel on Sunday Night Geekery. We talk about Star Trek, Dungeons and Dragons, all sorts of nerdy stuff, and yeah.
Nice. Sounds like my jam.
But I did put a link in the private chat of a short that'll take you to my channel anyway. If someone wouldn't mind posting it, that would be cool. I'm trying to get views on that. And it's a short of me singing at punk rock karaoke with guitarists from it's Greg Hetson, who was the guitarist for Circle Jerks and then Bad Religion.
wow.
Stan Lee, not the comic, Stan Lee, but Stan Lee, who was the guitarist for the Dickies. A bunch of different punk greats. So thank you.
Just posted it, Courtney. Got you.
You got it.
Dang
Sweet.
it,
Thanks,
Sammy, I was doing the type.
And I'm singing and I'm dancing, and there's two things that I never studied in college. I studied, so it's pretty funny.
Well, right on. And thank you, and thank you to that 70s rock fan who had to bug out earlier, but it's always a pleasure to have him on. He's another one of a man of my era, so I always appreciate him on this show. So again, thank you everyone for hanging out, talking Almost Famous, one of the great rock films. And we will be back with you next week, Thursday at 5 Pacific Standard, because that's when we are always on to talk from the year 2000 to present metal. And I think that's going to be a fun and weird and awesome conversation. Mando, there are no lions in metal. So until that time, be kind.
You